Partly cloudy, 43 for the overnight low. Friday, pretty day. Again for November, mostly sunny and 62 dry. Friday evening and Friday night. Saturday and Saturday night, periods of rain, a couple of spot storms, 63. Sunday, partly sunny, 66. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Attention Missouri Medicaid members. If you need assistance with daily living, you can receive a free service from Freedom Care in your own home from a loved one. With Freedom Care, you decide who provides your daily care with help preparing meals, bathing, laundry, transportation, and more. A family member or friend that gets paid instantly after every shift. It's all funded by Medicaid and 100% free to you. Call now to check your eligibility. New to Medicaid, the Freedom Care family will guide you through enrollment, making it stress-free for patients and caregivers. With over 5,000 five-star Google reviews, we've perfected at-home care for Medicaid members and caregivers. This service is free to you through Medicaid, and with our InstaPay app, caregivers are paid instantly. So go to freedomcare.com or call 314-557-7915. 314-557-7915. 314-557-7915.
Mark Cox here. Did you know the Rockwood School District is a great place to work? They're currently hiring school bus drivers, cafeteria workers, and custodial staff. They have openings in Adventure Club, which is before and after school care. They offer competitive pay, flexible work hours, and a rewarding work environment. Discover the Rockwood Advantage and join an amazing team. Go to rsdmo.org/jobs. That's rsdmo.org/jobs.
Greg Hammonds at greghammonds.com wants to remind you that if you pay for your own health insurance, open enrollment ends January 15th. If you are looking for coverage, do not go online looking for quotes. You'll get endless calls from call centers, and they will not stop. Instead, call Greg, an expert with over 40 years' experience, and he can provide sound advice for your health insurance needs. Their plans, if you qualify, let you pick your doctors, and it's 30 to 60% lower cost than Obamacare. The monthly premiums are independent of your income, so there will be no surprise tax bills. If you pay for your own health insurance, own a small business, you're uninsured, you're on COBRA, or your employer coverage is just too expensive, call Greg at 314-794-7784. That's 314-794-7784. Or go to greghammonds.com. That's greghammonds.com. They will custom design a plan managed by you, not the government.
If you're experiencing low energy, brain fog, or bloating, then your body might need a detox. Active Liver from New Nordic makes it easy to help your liver to detox your body all year long without major changes to your diet or lifestyle. Active Liver is available in stores at CVS or online at Amazon.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show.
For 200 years, America has carried on the greatest experiment in self-government in the history of the world. And that's not hyperbole, that's a fact. We're the people. The people vote and choose their own leaders, and they do it peacefully. And we're in a democracy. The will of the people always prevails. Yesterday, I spoke with President-elect Trump to congratulate him on his victory. And I assured him that I would direct my entire administration to work with his team to ensure a peaceful and orderly transition.
So there you have President Biden speaking from the outside of the White House, and he's calling for an orderly transition of power. Well, that's good. I think that's very good. You guys got to hear Kamala Harris's concession speech of some length yesterday, right after our show got done. Mark Reardon took it in the middle of the, what would be the 3 o'clock hour. And I would say both individuals provided the context for people to say, all right, we lost. There's no pretension about cheating or, kind of the tit for tat that you kind of expect potentially to materialize in this moment in time when the Democrats are on the other end of Donald Trump's victory. So what does that mean? Going forward, what does that mean? Y'all remember what it was like through November and through December of 2020. It was very stressful to watch. There were a lot of questions about the outcome of the election. And I mean, many people were led to believe that the winner of the presidential election would change in those 2 months. It wasn't just like a concession that Joe Biden won the election. There were a lot of things that took place that made you think throughout the course of time as it marched on that the outcome was going to change. I was not one of the people who thought that the outcome was going to change. I was somebody who felt like it was going to remain the way it was. I had questions about how we got to that place, but I never really was looking at it like, okay, eventually they're going to change this around and get this right. There are still people who are looking back at 2020 and wondering what happened. But there is a chart that's floating around the internet right now. I'm trying to find it and pull it up. That really, really makes me think, can we just get some clarification on this? From what happened last year to this year. And the truth of the matter is, I want answers. I want clarification on where those 15 million votes from 2020 came from. I don't want it right now, though. It is a valuable and a worthy question to be asking, but I don't need the answer right now. Right now, I just want to sit here and exhale.
Yeah.
Right now, I just don't miss the moment to just sit here and exhale and know that Donald Trump, should he have won in 2020, in this moment in time right now, we would probably be looking at a dominating Democrat presidential win, probably taking both houses of Congress. We'd be more divided than we ever would have. And the last 4 years would have been Donald Trump in a second term with a divided government getting not much anything done. You couldn't ask for a better situation for Donald Trump to have a second term than is laid out for him right now. He doesn't officially have the House of Representatives yet. It looks like even with the most narrow of majority that they probably will. I think it was New York 4 was just called for a Democrat, which is a flip to the Democrat side of the aisle. But the truth is if the Republicans can get their flipping act together in the House of Representatives, you just need one more. You only need to be in the simple majority so that you can put it over to the Senate. You've got the chart? Why don't you just put it in? Okay. Yeah, because I'd like to see this, because I'm sure Ryan would like to talk about this as well. You're not on the mic.
I think I know what this chart is.
I hope this is the right chart.
And it's about the total popular vote, right?
If it's not the right chart, then we'll just talk about whatever.
Whatever chart it is, we'll talk about that chart.
Honestly, Donald Trump won. We'll talk about anything. We can talk about anything. It's kind of like the main source of my point. Yes, that's the chart. That's the chart. Millions of votes, right? That's on the side there. 65 million votes is where the 2020 or the 2012 Democrat vote came in at just over 65 million. I'd say that's probably about a 66 million votes. Democrats get 66 million votes in 2012. Democrats get about 66 million votes in 2016 in the popular vote. In 2024, just a wee bit up, I would say. Maybe 66.5 million votes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, if that. It's almost the same.
The Democrats have been pretty consistent at where they are in the popular vote. Now, of course, if you know about the Electoral College, it really matters. It really makes a huge difference where those votes are coming in. If they're all coming from California, New York, and Illinois, then whoop. Republicans in 2012. Well, I would say a bit of a shellacking Mitt Romney was able to have to take with just over 60 million votes. In 2016, Donald Trump increases his popular vote to, I would say, about 63 million votes, a little over 63 million. In 2020, massive surge in Donald Trump's number from 63 million to 74 million. I think that was the number. People keep talking about record turnout, and of course, when the record turnout is discussed, it's based on location, not overall, because the Republicans went from about 74 million votes in 2020 to hovering, we're right around 71, 72 million votes right now for Donald Trump. There are 15 million votes less for Democrats from 2020 to 2024. So there's a question to ask. Where did those 15 million votes go? Is Kamala Harris 15 million votes less popular? I would venture to say that that is within the realm of possibility. That after 4 years of Joe Biden and a Kamala Harris taking up the mantle, who said she would not do anything differently on multiple occasions than Joe Biden, that she just might be 15 million votes less popular than Joe Biden. It's in the conversation.
And really back in line with where Democrat turnout usually is.
Which is the key.
Which is why this graph is so important. And if you can't see it, I mean, we're explaining it, but to see it, you really do go, oh, yeah, there's something very weird about the 2020 election. And look, Republican turnout was also extraordinarily high.
Almost not double, but like the increase is significant because it starts at 50 million on the bottom. But the increase for Republicans is significant. The increase for Democrats is significant. The decrease, however,
is astounding.
When the Republicans have an army of lawyers and eyes and state legislative wins and judicial wins on how we are going to do elections. I just have questions. But today I don't care because guess what? Donald Trump is President-elect Donald Trump.
Yeah, I mean, today we're asking those questions, but we're also drinking milk and eating some honey. You know, it's time for the promises.
Honey in the rock, man.
Promises kept. So
hold on a second. I'm not questioning you specifically, but I'm questioning everything. Do you eat? I mean, you don't drink honey, right?
I think you eat honey.
Do you?
Yeah. You don't drink it. But eating it is a little bit strange to say, too.
Aggressive.
When do you ever
chomp down, ooh, honey?
When do you ever just have honey by itself?
Well,
usually you put it on...
If you have hiccups.
You put it on bread or...
Wait, what did you just say? If you put honey on... Oh, you say bread.
Bread.
I thought you said Brad.
Annie, I feel really uncomfortable right now.
You got to imagine how I feel.
Let's just hypothetically say,
I'm not talking.
If you put honey on Brad,
it's like a good wax.
Ew.
No. Have you ever seen Brad's smooth legs? Didn't you see him in his Halloween costume?
Nope, I have not seen that.
Smooth like butter. I was jealous.
I'm not going to seek that out. Although I guess it is on the internet now.
You're the one who told me.
No, I did not.
I like how you'll play along with everything,
not
but
that one.
I won't do that.
I'll follow you down most cliffs.
No.
Not that one.
No kidding. I like him tiptoeing to the cliff all the time, and here comes Ryan out of the left of the screen, just belly flopping into the cliff, and he's like, whoa, 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 whoa. Not doing that.
I'm not talking about Brad's legs. I'm not talking about putting honey on this man. I will not do this.
He's like, it's too close to the truth for me to be comfortable with it.
No.
Walrus says, why has Annie seen Brad's smooth legs? Go back and watch the Halloween show. He dressed up as Richard Simmons.
1 week ago.
Yeah, that's just happened.
Man, I'm just going to say this, and it's the most obvious thing I could say.
Does that have to do with the election or Brad's legs?
A lot has changed in a week.
Ethan has arrived. Yeah, we're actually having actual, legitimate, relaxed fun now.
It was like tension and then fun to release the tension.
It's like, oh, politics not happening? Oh, I'll hop on in.
Yeah. So, Brad's honey smooth legs.
So, listen, when this all went down last week.
The Richard Simmons?
Yes, the Richard Simmons. First off, Brad was so shy. I think that he was trying to hide them. But there was something
There was no way to hide them.
There was something
there was not enough material.
What was even more noticeable than Brad's smooth legs was Wiggins' reaction and his intense staring at Brad's smooth legs.
Couldn't
It was
It's like everybody in the office was talking
it was
about
a little bit intense.
Ryan,
and
I felt like you were undressing me with your eyes.
Oh, boy.
Listen, the election went well.
You're going to allow
So
it?
I understand why everybody wants to have a real good time now, and I'll allow it. Because all this is just goofy, stupid conversation.
I don't know what you're talking about.
And it's stupid. I mean, if people are tuning in, they're like, this is stupid. I know Ryan's not like that. They're defending me in their hearts and their heads. But it's okay because the election went well.
Remember
and I'll
when you guys
allow
got Frushi for your 5-year anniversary?
That did happen. Well, that's a fact.
they're also saying that They're also saying Brad's dancer names should be Honey Smooth Legs.
I'll allow that too.
Or just Honey.
Yeah, Honey. I like Honey.
Honey and cold turkey.
Should we? Yeah.
Oh, God.
Honey Smooth.
That's a 1-2
Hell of a
punch.
combo.
That sounds like a whiskey.
Knockout punch right there. Put you to sleep.
Do you think that you think we should let some listeners call in and
Yeah,
tell us
just
how they're
vent.
feeling?
Yeah, do it. Let's do it.
If you want to, give us a call, 314-241-9797, 314-241-9797. We would like to know how you're feeling, what your expectations are. Just a minute to reflect on the election. Hopefully you're happy. I know there are people out there who are very much so not happy. I have a feeling that if they do turn into this radio station, they might not be tuned in today. But if you are, like I said yesterday, take all the time you need to tune into the MSNBCs of the world and laugh at these miserable people because they've lied to you so long that they're starting to believe what they're shoveling themselves. But there are real people in your life who are very sad and honestly, truthfully, very scared today. And while from where we sit, you might be thinking to yourself, this is not scary. This is good. They're not there yet. But we get to be the people who usher them into understanding that what they've been told is not actually true. And it's going to be okay. So be very kind and be very patient with those people in your life right now who don't see it the way you do, because they just might come around, and imagine if they did. 314-241-9797, 314-241-9797. We got 2 lines open right now. Ethan's going to get through and answer all those phone calls, and we will take your calls when we come back. Good with that?
Ready to roll.
All right. Stick around. Annie Fry Show will return in just a minute. Your question on the Annie Fry YouTube poll is, will we see an orderly transfer of power, yes or no? Both Kamala Harris and Joe Biden have said that they are invested in that. Do you believe it? Will we see that orderly transfer of power? Let us know on the Annie Fry YouTube channel. Come say hi. We'll be back with your phone calls in just a minute.
Talk lines are open now at 314-241-9797 or 866-455-9797. This is the Annie Fry Show.
Civia Law, you find them online at SIVIAlaw.com, Civia Law. I had my trust, my husband and I set up a trust with them and just signed the documents a couple weeks ago. So if you are in the market for a will, a trust, powers of attorney, your living will, all of that, CiviaLaw.com. But I want to take this time, since it's November and Veterans Day is right around the corner. If you are a veteran, if your spouse is a veteran, please, 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 write this down, this phone number down when I'm going to give it to you here, and put it on the calendar for November 11th, because the first 20 veterans at each of the 5 offices that Civia Law has, yes, in Missouri and Illinois, they service both sides of the river. The first 20 veterans at each of the 5 offices to call 833-995-WILL on Veterans Day will receive complimentary health and financial powers of attorney. If you don't have this yet, this is a must. So call them at 833-995-WILL, 833-995-WILL, and talk to them about how you can get that complimentary service as a token of gratitude from Civia Law. They are very proud to support veterans. They can help you access your aid and attendance pension, oftentimes referred to as an A&A pension. If you've served during wartime for a minimum of 90 days, you and your spouse qualify for the A&A pension. Veterans can collect $2,600 per month in benefits that you have earned, so make sure you're getting them. Spouses can collect $1,300 a month in those benefits, but you got to connect with Civia Law, and on Veterans Day specifically at their 5 locations, call to get those powers of attorney. 833-995-WILL, 833-995-WILL, CiviaLaw.com.
Hey guys, Glover here with my friends at Triton Exteriors, specifically my friend Tim Nesbitt, who is the owner. He is from the customer service business, 20 years in the restaurant business. So the answer is yes. What's the question? Anything you need. Hospitality, personal service. We're upscale. We're a James Hardy company. Roofing and siding and gutters and great value. Tim just texted me and he beat the next closest bid by $15,000 just this week. You can call 314-717-1159 or triton-stl.com.
Is your car still under warranty?
No, not anymore.
My mechanic just suggested an extended service plan from Ox Car Care.
Ox Car Care?
Yeah, Ox will cover repair bills if anything happens to the car. New brakes, transmission, AC, or engine problems. Plus, Ox Car Care offers free oil changes, tire rotation, and roadside assistance.
Wait, you pay nothing on repairs? Ox gets it fixed? Free oil changes, free tire rotation, and free roadside assistance?
Yeah, you don't pay. Ox pays. Ox even has a 30-day money-back guarantee and is A+ rated on the BBB. They handle their claims from start to finish, unlike those other warranty companies.
The last thing I need is an unexpected car repair bill. I'm calling Ox Car Care now.
Call Ox Car Care for your free quote, 800-296-3315. Ask about senior and military discounts. Don't get stuck with a major car repair bill. Call Ox Car Care, 800-296-3315, 800-296-3315, or go to oxcarcare.com.
Life is challenging and ever-changing. Take control with passive income through real estate investing. Learn how. Learn now. Let Del Walmsley and Lifestyles Unlimited's investors and mentors show you. Meet Del's team live in St. Louis. 2 days only at the Hilton Frontenac, Saturday and Sunday, November 9th and 10th. Register now at DelHelpMeNow.com. That's DelHelpMeNow.com. Enter promo code 2024 for a special discount offer. DelHelpMeNow.com. Code 2024.
Retired or retiring soon? How much money do you need to live comfortably? Retirement Planners of America is here for you. Would you like to have financial peace of mind? Here's how. Step 1. Find out the amount of money you'll need to retire. Step 2. Have a plan to get there. Step 3. Make sure that plan can take advantage of market gains but protect you from market losses. Discover how to do all three with a free consultation at 800-508-6108. That's 800-508-6108.
All investments involve risk, including losses. Past performance does not guarantee future results.
1 in 4 Americans have a disability. I'm one of them. I'm also a working mom who cares deeply about making sure every child with a disability thrives by getting their access needs met. We've got a trusted ally by our side. Easter Seals provides children and families the foundation for lifelong success through early learning programs, skills training, and prep for college and career. That's my Easter Seals. Make it yours. Join us at easterseals.com.
You're listening to the Annie Fry Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Air Comfort Service is proud to support Greater St. Louis Honor Flight. Sign your veteran up for the Honor Flight today at gsLHonorFlight.org. And for heating services, visit aircomfortservice.com.
Now it's time for the Aftermath Analysis. Keep it here post-election to get details and commentary on everything the mainstream media isn't reporting on. Democracy 2024. The vision and strategy for 2025 is here. This is the Annie Fry Show. The Annie Fry Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe. Talk lines are open now at 314-241-9797 or 866-455-9797.
Joy. Oh man, it's so fun. Today is a fun day. Tomorrow is going to be a fun day. We're going to have some fun days. We haven't had an outlook of fun days for a while. Not at least in this context.
Right. Yeah, I think the fun days will start today, a little bit yesterday, although we were very tired.
Oh man,
today,
I'm so tired.
And then through, I would say, like 2028.
Yeah. Just Put it on the next calendars. You're making your Christmas calendars for grandma and mom out there.
Yeah.
Just put smiley faces on all the days.
Brad's about to say something. No. Don't ruin it.
I cannot think of how excited. I can't express how excited I am about this because this is different. This is a sea change in my radio career.
Yeah, you've only
I've
lived
only
in
been
the Biden years.
The quote-unquote resistance.
The dark ages. Oh, yeah, exactly. Well, it's about to get exciting. And also, the Republicans need to understand that they have a job to do. You got this far, but the work really begins now. And we want to know how you feel. 314-241-9797. We have a full board of phones right now. I'm going to try to push through and get through as many people as I can. So I'll put you on the air. I'll let you say what you got to say and keep moving so we can get as many people, get your voice on here because you guys are what's most important about what we do every day. So 314-241-9797. How are you feeling? Let's start with Amanda. Amanda, thank you for calling the Annie Fry Show. How do you feel?
Beyond excited, like beyond excited.
It's really like every time you think of it, it's exciting once again. Compare what it's like to consume media before Election Day and after Election Day. How have you handled your emotions through this?
I think you guys touched on it really well the other day when you said validated. I feel like finally I'm not crazy. Like everyone else is starting to see and realize the things that we have been talking about and having issues with the last 4 years. And I feel validated. I feel like, okay, yes, you guys are starting to see that things need to change and we do need to make America great again.
Oh, amen to that. Amanda, thank you for listening to us, to the station, and for sharing that with us. We really appreciate you.
You are so awesome. Have a great day.
Thank you. You too. Let's get to Andy. Andy, thank you for calling the Annie Fry Show. How are you feeling today?
Still kind of numb. I can't believe it actually happened. I got real excited when I saw the group that he was putting around him with RFK, Elon, among other, Vivek Ramaswamy, and I just refused to allow myself to believe that it would actually happen. I was so used to getting the rug pulled out from underneath of us when we've been so close to big victories. So happy and numb, but I want to say this about the Republicans. You're absolutely right. They have to get to work. But in my opinion, the Republicans clearly expanded their tent. We got more diversity of backgrounds and races and religions. And with that comes a bigger diversity of thought, which I think that Republicans have been somewhat resistant to. And it's what's kind of held them back in the past. And I think they need to lean into that. And specifically with a topic like abortion, it's gone back to the states. We need to leave it at the states and let the people decide, even if it's not what individually we may want to happen. Let the people of those states decide that. And I think you saw that in the election night when 7, I think it was on the ballot in 10 different states, and 7 of the 10, including Missouri, voted to either expand abortion rights or whatever. And not that that's good. You keep fighting at that level. Just keep it out of federal abortion ban, because it's been a losing topic for them time and again, and I think that will drive people away from the party. So you just let it fight itself out on the state level and just get done with what the people put you there for, which is better economic policies, taking on big pharma, immigration reform, all the big things that he ran on. That's what he got elected on. And let the smaller, I don't want to say smaller, that sounds bad, but let the topics like this that have been put back to the states, let them stay at the states, and people will sort that out. And you just pray that they sort it out how you want to. But let them do it there.
Yeah.
Because I think you need to keep expanding this tent, because people, when they see the economic prosperity, when they see opportunity, they're going to keep coming into this party and let the Democrats be the ones that are the elites and out of touch.
Andy,
and don't be the out of touch ones.
that is a really great point, because we do need to focus on the economics. It was the leading issue, that and the border immigration are the leading issues that put Donald Trump back in the office. Americans of every walk of life need to understand that is the priority.
Those are the two big things that he made his campaign promise, that on day one, I'm going to open up energy, I'm going to get this thing rolling again, and I'm going to close the border. That's clear messaging.
Yep.
Trump talks all over the place, but he talked about that a lot.
Let's go to Sean. Sean, thank you for calling the Annie Fry Show. How do you feel today?
as a 70-year-old apolitical independent that figured the rest of my life would be with ideology, oligarchy, and a system based on greed and a lack of humanity. Now this is a big if this person who has now won 3 terms in a row, we know it was stolen the last time, if he exists in the parameters of humanity, excludes all ideologies, red, light, green, yellow, it doesn't matter. We are one America, we are one people, and we are based on it's still a grand experiment, and this is in its infancy. We are only 200 years young. We need someone that comprehends the gravity of what is going on right now. We had a complete, utter institution that attempted coups left and right. Now, we will know in a short time whether this particular person is not a part of the elitist. We can have hope, but everyone has to understand it takes the individual to rise the whole. Freedom is not the herd mentality. Get away from the herd, release ideology, which is what we exist in, and get away from your egos.
Sean, thank you for the phone call. I appreciate it. And I think that the idea that the Republicans have a much broader tent right now is the key to future success for the Republican Party. They expanded the tent, extremely expanded the tent in this last campaign with the people they brought in. If Bobby Kennedy is able to do what he's being tasked to do with, at least with words right now, those people are going to be Republicans.
Yeah, what an interesting, man, the shift in the electorate from this election. If it's permanent, there are some big problems and big discussions Democrats are going to have. If it's just Trump, I guess, we'll see what happens.
Jack, thank you for calling the Annie Fry Show. How do you feel today?
Oh, I feel great. One of the things is with the Biden administration and possible continuation of that with Harris, I spent 31 years in law enforcement and 6 years in the military. And I told my wife on more than one occasion the last 6 or 7 months that I felt like I had wasted all that time with the current administration. I feel great. I feel like we have America back. I currently have a son that's deployed to the Middle East. I had talked to him the last week or so, and they were, I say they, him and his unit, his comrades over there, were all feeling pretty apprehensive about what was going to happen with the election. And I know, having talked to him yesterday, they feel like the weight of the world has been lifted off their shoulders. They're going to be allowed to do their jobs that they were sent over there to do.
That's awesome. Jack, thank you for your family service, for your son's service. It's never easy to have somebody that is serving overseas, but I just can't imagine the pride that you have in being able to say that. So we're very grateful for all of you.
Well, I'm grateful for you people being the citizens that made it worthwhile.
Yes. Amen. Jack, thank you so much. That is something that is worthy of discussing. The people who are in the military right now, I talked to several of them who I'm close to, and like the mood in the last 4 years has been like, we're here, somebody's got to do it. You don't want, you can't necessarily just bolt on the thing. You still have something you're serving that you believe in, but you're just like day to day going through like all of this utter bologna sausage that is being shoveled your way. It's like, this is not why I signed up to do this. Mike, thank you for calling the Annie Fry Show. How do you feel today, a couple days after Donald Trump wins the presidency?
Good afternoon. How are you guys?
We're doing really, really great.
Yeah.
How about you?
Yeah, I feel amazing. It's quite a crew that Trump's putting around him. It's such a legitimate America first as a label to have personalities like Elon Musk and Tulsi Gabbard and the various people that have come over who are just looking past the insanity and trying to get to some reason. So it's extremely, extremely hopeful for the future. And I'm a little bit sad about our Amendment 3 situation here.
Yeah.
I have the church that we attend, Kim St. Ange and Stacy Washington both attend there.
Yeah.
And I've been extremely disappointed with a number of the Christian organizations or churches in the state of Missouri and their unwillingness to put themselves out there to defend something as easily defendable as defeating that. So that was a little disheartening.
Mike, that's where the mantle has to be taken up. The kindness and the generosity and the compassion that the church has to show the politicians how it's going to be. It's going to have to start there. And everybody who's in your shoes, you've got the right mentality, Mike. And now's the time to put the pressure on, not to say, oh, we lost. This is the time to turn up the volume on it. And it's good to hear you have that mindset, because Missouri has a tall task in front of them. Illinois has been fighting against this for quite some time. Mike, thank you for calling the show.
Can I say one more thing? A little bit of humor.
Yeah, what do you got?
The only disappointment was if Kamala got elected, that was a greater incentive for me to relocate to either South Dakota or Wyoming.
You could still do it, but
now I don't have that excuse. So the debate with my wife is going to get a little tougher.
Oh, well, good luck with that. Although we want to keep you in the listening area, Mike. We like having you.
We're sorry that Trump has caused you to fall into this malaise.
Mike, thank you so much. It's good to have you on the show. Megan, thank you for calling the Annie Fry Show. How are you feeling in the wake of a Donald Trump victory?
Is that me?
Yep. Megan, go ahead.
Okay. Sorry. I'm very excited, and I'm specifically feeling unburdened by what has been.
I know the feeling.
Yes, but I'm also very scared, because as I'm listening to people on the other side, with why they're upset, talking about how they've lost rights as women, and I'm like, could you give me a specific example? Because I don't get it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think that there is a vote for women in this as well. When you think about Title IX and men and women's sports, like, it depends on how you look at things.
Like the definition of women, like just the existence of them. That's a start.
Exactly. Because I do think that's a vote for women. And then also, there's a lot of people in the LGBTQ plus community who are, like, losing their minds. And I'm like, isn't Richard Grenell the very first openly gay cabinet member? And
he sure
that
is.
was during the Trump administration.
Sure is.
I mean,
yeah.
I feel like there's a lot of, like, fear that has been pumped into people on the left, and they truly believe it, so they feel scared, and I believe that they're scared. I just feel like it's unfounded, and I'm scared myself because I know they play dirty, and I'm just waiting to see how they're going to try and manipulate and use government, like deep state, I don't know, like people to, throw up a big roadblock in any of the agenda goals.
Megan, here's what I'm going to tell you, and thank you so much for the phone call. There has been a massive majority rebuke of all of that heaping pile of bologna sausage that we are a little gun shy of right now. We're all in that mental headspace with you, Megan, like, okay, what do you have next? There is going to be a new sheriff in town, and everything top to, I have goosebumps just saying this, and I've been pretty steady on this, but the idea of lawfare, of the bureaucracy in Washington, D.C., we have, in my lifetime, never been in such a position to start fresh than we are right now. And it would not be possible if Donald Trump won in 2020 and had served his second term now. What is going to take place now is way beyond what Donald Trump ever could have done should we all have gotten our wish in 2020 and Donald Trump would have won re-election then. He is positioned now to do something for the country that will fortify what was done almost 250 years ago. And I will add to this. I saw Donald Trump talking. We might discuss this in a little bit later in the show. Donald Trump is going to oversee the 250th birthday of our country.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
In 2026. And he's already out there talking about having the Great American State Fair. And he wants to put it in Iowa.
Love it.
And he's talking about these plans to celebrate America. And that is a very specific indication of the idea that America should be celebrated. And we are so back. It's so exciting. Those nerves are going to creep in. Suppress them right now. Enjoy the moment and keep pushing through. Let's get to Gary's on the line here. Gary, thank you for calling the Annie Fry Show. How do you feel today?
Hi, Annie. Yeah, I feel fantastic that Trump is back in office. I get to retire at the end of this year. I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to with the economy going in the direction that it was.
Mm-hmm.
But the reason I really called was to tell you guys, your crew, you and Ryan and Brad and the whole crew, thank you so much for being here the last 4 years so that people like me had a place to come to in the afternoon and either write in or call in and voice our frustrations or have a laugh or two. You made the last 4 years much more tolerable, and I just wanted you to know I really appreciate it.
Gary, thank you. Because I would say that a lot of times we walk in the studio and the disgust that really honestly does cause a lot of people to say, I'm listening to Keishi today or whatever it might be. You want to listen to music because you can't stomach it. We don't get to turn the station in here. We are the station in here. And it's really important. It's always been really important to us here on the afternoons to try to inject fun in it because it's so important. And Gary, listeners like you who have been supportive, we really don't get to do this if we don't have people out there listening. So it's nice to hear that, but it's really for people like you to help us all get through whatever the highs are and the lows are. And the last 4 years have been difficult, but I think the next 4 years are going to be worth it.
Amen. Thanks.
Thank you so much. Gary, thank you. We appreciate you very much. All right.
You got a joke
You're
to just
welcome.
kind of get through when things are bad, which means that the next 4 years we're going to be pretty serious.
You're a doofus. All right. Wiggins, it's your time.
We got calls, though, don't we?
Yeah, we've got three. We have only 2 open lines.
I'd much rather hear from people.
314-241-9797. We have to take a break. Wiggins is ceding his time. We'll do Wiggins America at 1:45, maybe even 2 o'clock, depending on how long you want. You get to pick that time. We do have Tyrus at 1:07. Mr. called the landslide with confidence, his feet propped up and a nice cold beer in his hand. He had all the chill that you can have in a moment like that, and he will be with us in the 1 o'clock hour. Hans von Spakovsky is coming in a little bit late as well. I'm going to ask him about all of the lawfare that has been put up against Donald Trump. Where does that go? He's still supposed to be sentenced. Could Donald Trump make a stop in Rikers on his way to the White House? I don't know. Hans von Spakovsky at 1:25, but a few more of your phone calls to mark the occasion. 314-241-9797. Grab an open line when you get one. We'll breeze through as many as we can in the next segment. Don't go away.
Talk lines are open now at 314-241-9797 or 866-455-9797. The Annie Fry Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
The Retirement Advisory Group, if you're like Gary and you're like, hey, I think I can retire right now, make sure that you connect with the Retirement Advisory Group to make sure you're making the moves that you need to make in order to get that retirement done the correct way. The Retirement Advisory Group, Thomas Helbig, Bob and Tammy Kershaw, have never had a client lose a penny. That sounds pretty great. That's kind of hard to pass up, especially when you call 314-993-9494 and you realize you can have a conversation with them that costs you literally zero. And at the end of it, you get to make a choice. Do I want to go forward with this plan or do I want to think on it or not do anything at all? It doesn't cost you anything. There's no obligation. You just get to set up the phone call to have that group conversation. 314-993-9494. That's 314-993-9494. If you go online to retirementkey.com, you can learn all the details you need to make sure that you have done the pre-research to make that phone call to set up the appointment. But trust me when I say Thomas Helbig, Bob and Tammy Kershaw, they are going to be great guidance counselors for you to get you to the place where your retirement is worry-free. 314-993-9494, retirementkey.com.
Have you ever been told you can't get into the water for 30 minutes after eating because you didn't cramp up and drown. And then you were told if you eat watermelon seeds, you're going to grow a watermelon in your stomach. Swallowing gum it'll stay in your stomach for 7 years. Don't sit too close to the TV or you'll go blind. Wow, these aren't your peers saying this is your, people you're counting on that you believe and you trust. Or the air conditioning that we have now isn't good enough for you, so you need to do this. I don't know, guys. If you have questions, you have doubts, and you want common sense approach to, heating and cooling your home affordably, call me, Bart Inman, one really easy number, Missouri and Illinois, 314-293-2600, or bartinman.com. That's Bart with a B, Inman with an I.com. God bless.
Hey, this is Ryan with an R. YouTube live chat poll. Will we see an orderly transfer of power, yes or no? That is the YouTube live chat poll of the day. Will we see an orderly transfer of power? A lot of ways that could go. Let us know what you think. 1248. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
This Veterans Day, the Annie Fry Show is heading to Edwardsville. Join us on Monday for the 2024 Veterans Day Parade, starting at 3 p.m. Let's come together to honor our veterans. Sponsored by Cassens, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and Wagoneer. Learn more at 971talk.com/events.
You're listening to The Annie Fry Show. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. We are happy, legitimately, wholly happy to be with you today.
I'm joyful.
Joyful. Joy. It's almost Christmas time. Yep.
Oh, man.
Joy.
What a Christmas present.
What a Christmas present for the country. Yeah, quick reminder, 48 days until Christmas. Almost 47.
Oh, let's celebrate tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly.
How many days until Christmas? Over and over and over throughout the show.
47!
47!
Unless Kamala Harris becomes a president before then, in
Then
which
we're
she would be
celebrating
47,
today.
and then hooray, it's 48 days till Christmas. We're getting through some more of your phone calls here. I've got a full board of phones. I want to get through everybody, so I'm going to put you on. You're going to get to make your point, and then we're going to keep moving. But we're asking you all, how do you feel now that we are on this side of the election? Let's start with Chad. Chad's been holding for a while. Chad, thank you for calling the Annie Fry Show. How do you feel?
I feel great. I feel relieved.
Yeah.
One quick question. In order to maintain this momentum, do you think that the Republicans should maybe open like some offices in the inner cities of each city? So, because I feel like a lot of these people are just not educated on what the Republicans do versus Democrats as far as just trying to educate people on that.
Yeah, and Donald Trump went to those people and talked in places, I don't know specifically detailed inner city to inner city, but he did go to places like the unions, to the barbershops, to the places that are traditionally like, oh, you can't get those votes. And he talked to them, and he listened to them, and he got those votes. So, Chad, very, very smart point, and the work on that should start right now. I completely agree.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Chad. Thank you for calling and listening to the show. We're grateful for that. Let's get to Chris. Chris, thanks for calling the Annie Fry Show. How do you feel?
Hi, how's everybody doing?
Doing fine. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I feel great. I think this shows that the power of prayer is real in America. I think a lot of people were praying for this. But I just want to say I also am worried. I'm a little bit worried because we haven't got all the results in. And if we don't maintain majority in the House, we could start the whole impeachment thing all over again, even though we have control of the Senate. I just see those obstacles coming if we don't hold the House. And the other thing I would like to say, and I'll get off of here to give other people a chance to talk, is you've got connection. Would someone please put Ted Cruz up for majority leader in the Senate? One of the most constitutionally smart guys we have in there, and he doesn't back down.
You're a Ted Cruz guy. You want to see him lead the Senate?
Absolutely.
Chris, thank you for the phone call. I appreciate it. We should talk. I want to talk about like cabinet and leadership positions and stuff a little bit later in the show. But
well, before we do that, I'll call Ted.
You go get him.
Yeah.
Make yourself useful for once, Ryan.
I mean, that's a good idea. I hadn't thought about that, but I'll let Mr. Cruz know.
Valerie, thank you for calling the Annie Fry Show. How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling awesome. So I actually posted this on Facebook as well. We are now the United States of America. And so people start acting like it.
Yeah. I mean, it's very nice to be able to see the popular vote, which is pretty close. I mean, it's kind of starting to narrow. It'll be interesting to see if it ends up flipping just a wee little bit in favor of Kamala Harris. I don't know that that's going to happen, but there is definitely a mandate out for Donald Trump. And I hope that we all move forward and start showing people why we've supported Donald Trump so much if they weren't on our side to begin with.
Exactly.
Thank you, Valerie.
Well, see, and my very first election was Ronald Reagan.
Yeah? And you feel good about this one?
My first president, and I haven't felt good about voting for a president since Ronald Reagan.
Well, Valerie, we're grateful to be able to share that with you, and thank you very much for listening to us here on 97.1 and the Annie Fry Show. We're really grateful for it. Mark, thank you for calling the Annie Fry Show. How are you feeling?
Oh, I feel great, but my wife, of course, we call our daughter at Mizzou, engineering student every day. And she is very upset, and she was going to have to maybe lay down and take a nap because of her depression. And I don't know what Kool-Aid she's been drinking there, but it's disappointing to us.
What is she worried about? Like, what is her fear?
I think it's all that. Just as you just had a couple callers back said that why can't their friends all the stuff they hear about Trump that's not true, and now they think it's all going to come true, and he's going to do this and do that, and just the nonsense that's out there on the mainstream media garbage, the dictator and Hitler and rounding up people and all this kind of stuff. I don't understand it. I don't know where, that's not how she was brought up. But college just kind of made her take a little left turn there.
That was my question for you. You brought her up? It sounds like you're conservative. Did she become liberal when she went off to school?
Yes, and the two boys stayed in town for school. Both one daughter went to U of I, one went to Mizzou, and they both turned left.
Wow.
So,
Mark, thank you for the phone call, and tell your daughter that she should listen to our show.
I'll work on that.
Yeah, let her know. Thank you, Mark, for calling. I appreciate it. Let's get to Sarah here real quick. Sarah, thanks for calling the Annie Fry Show. How do you feel?
Much clarity. Just the world felt just like the sun shone a little brighter yesterday.
Yeah, you're feeling better about it. What was it that did you feel like this was going to be the case the whole time, or did it really take that final call to make you feel like, okay, I can breathe deeply now?
Yeah, I stayed awake until about 11. I had to get up early with kids the next morning, and I was starting to feel pretty good. I was like, you know what, I need to get some sleep, and I kind of was like really anxious. Woke up early, and I was just super happy to see that final result just kind of push through. But hey, I also wanted to say I have some, my side of the family is very Republican. My husband's side of the family up in Minnesota is opposite, most of them. And so they're like the past 8 years, they have a family chain on text. They kind of like bash, so my husband and I just ignore it because we can't ever respond.
Yeah.
But this is an example of I was going to read this, what just to say how they're feeling and if we could ever talk about it. But she said, I wish it was unbelievable, but it's not. I'm not okay. I didn't realize how deeply men's hatred of women ran that they would choose a literal piece of sleep to articulate reasonable thoughts and policies over a significantly qualified woman whose policies are people-centered. I can't believe how many white women care more about their proximity to power and whiteness than voting in their best interest. And I don't know how to protect my kids. So, I mean, that's just how over the 4 years I feel like I can't ever respond. Are anyone's thoughts going to change if you have that feeling?
I think that we are living in alternate realities from one another. And the truth of the matter is you're not the number one way that you can convince her that she is completely right is if you attack her. And the heaping of burning coals, if that's a reference that you understand, you can Google it if you don't. But being kind to these people is so important right now because what she has done is she has thought for everybody. She knows the thoughts that everybody should be thinking, and if people aren't thinking the way that she thinks that they're supposed to be thinking, then everybody else is wrong. And on the other side, everyone else is thinking for themselves and thinking she's wrong. It's because we see different realities, which is why I continue to say, like, call out and laugh at the media that has been the deceivers for so long, because they're responsible for brainwashing people. And the best thing that can happen here is that Trump gets into office, does what he says he's going to do, that we all believe is going to be better for the country. And in the midst of that, they realize, low key, that they may never even admit out loud, this isn't so bad after all.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Hang in there, Sarah. And you know, I understand it's very difficult when it comes to these family connections, but we've got to prioritize things, and we've got to love one another, and we have to lead with love and kindness, which is something that I would honestly say has not been afforded to us in the last 4 years.
No.
I mean, I see so many people who are on, you know, TikTok and stuff, which gets shared to Twitter, which is how I see it. And the message that is out there is that you need to cut people off. What is the phrase that they use? Cut off contact? Go no contact. I'd never heard that phrase until I saw these leftists come out and use the go no contact phrase for people in their life. And this is before Donald Trump wins the election. That if they don't agree with you, if they don't believe in what you have to say, go no contact. Let's not be there. Let's just be there and be happy warriors. Don't you think? All right, Tyrus and Hans, when we come back. Sorry if we didn't get to all your phone calls. We'll try to take more either later in the show or tomorrow. We'll be right back.
Guys, it's time to take charge of your health with my friends at Victory Men's Health. Mark Cox here. I already love what they do at Victory. They do hormone optimization, sexual health, weight loss, even vitamin deficiencies. Now they're offering specialty cardiovascular testing and even early detection cancer screening. Visit them at one of their 4 great locations, now in Sunset Hills, Town and Country, O'Fallon, Missouri, and O'Fallon, Illinois. Tell them Mark Cox sent you. Go to victorymenshealth.com.
Are you a business owner looking to grow and succeed? The St. Charles Regional Chamber is here to help. I'm Scott Tate, President and CEO. As the region's largest chamber with nearly 1,200 members, we offer networking, marketing resources, educational programs, and more to support your business. Whether you're a seasoned entrepreneur or starting out, we have the right membership option for you. Explore our investor levels for exclusive benefits or try our free basic membership. For more information, visit stcharlesregionalchamber.com.
KFTK FM Florissant. From the Under Law Injury Lawyers, GetJim.com studio.
That's GetJim.com.
97.1 FM Talk. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
Team gets to work. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. They're vetting potential cabinet members while Trump's senior advisor Jason Miller says the president-elect is preparing to hit the ground running.
We know that so many of those policies, whether it be the border, even some of the things on energy exploration and others, can be put back in place with a simple signature on an executive order. Get those going literally on day one.
Some elected Democrats signaling possible resistance. California Governor Gavin Newsom calling for a special session of state legislators to safeguard California values.
Specifically, he says he wants to bolster California resources to, quote, protect civil rights, reproductive freedom, climate action, and immigrant families.
Fox's Bill Malugin. President Biden is pledging a peaceful transfer of power and saying he hopes Americans can bring down the temperature. He's also defending his record.
We're leaving behind the strongest economy in the world. I know people are still hurting, but things are changing rapidly. Together, we've changed America for the better.
And he says Vice President Kamala Harris has great character and should be proud of her campaign. A Pennsylvania Senate race remains too close to call, with Republican challenger Dave McCormick leading Democratic Senator Bob Casey by less than 0.5%.
The McCormick campaign is confident they have won this thing because they say they expect to win about 75% of the remaining ballots or so that are being hand processed in red Cambria County. Still, Democratic Senator Bob Casey's campaign is not backing down, arguing there are still ballots, including provisional ballots, to count in blue Allegheny and Philadelphia counties.
Fox's Brian Yanis in Philadelphia. AP just calling a Pennsylvania House race for Republican challenger Ryan McKenzie. That's the 6th GOP flip in the House. And the Fed just announcing a 1/4-point interest rate cut. America is listening to Fox News.
You okay?
Sorry, I can't sleep with this cough.
Sounds like you need to vaporize that cold.
Vaporize?
Yeah, with NyQuil VapoCool. It's NyQuil plus a rush of Vicks vapors.
Whoa.
So you ready to get some sleep? Thank you, NyQuil VapoCool.
NyQuil VapoCool, the vaporizing nighttime coughing, aching, fever, best sleep with a cold medicine. And to vaporize sore throat pain, try Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Sinex Saline Nasal Spray.
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion associated with colds and year-round allergies with a gentle, ultra-fine mist that's no mess and easy to control.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it.
Enjoy life's important moments without congestion. Try Sinex Saline from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
It's a little bit cool, partly sunny skies going through our Thursday afternoon, 60 for the high. Tonight, partly cloudy, 43 for the overnight low. Friday, pretty day. Again for November, mostly sunny and 62 dry. Friday evening and Friday night. Saturday and Saturday night, periods of rain, a couple of spot storms, 63. Sunday, partly sunny, 66. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
TheDiamondShop.net. That's the website. Your Christmas shopping. Guys, 48 days from now, Christmas shopping, get it done. There is a guaranteed home run. When you shop at the Diamond Shop, you get the guidance of Tom, of Mona, of Nikki, of the other members that they have on the staff there that are 100% dedicated to meeting your expectations, to exceeding your expectations in beautiful quality of a beautiful piece of jewelry, of maybe cufflinks or a new watch, or I've gotten my husband a Tyrus restraint from there. Beautiful set of diamond earrings. Maybe it's just a statement piece. Maybe it's a birthstone necklace to celebrate grandma or mom or whatever it might be. They have a whole host of different pieces of jewelry that you can check out right now, right there in the store. They have 6 months, same as cash financing. So if you want to put out those payments over the course of time, you can do that as well. But they can also make custom jewelry. But you got to get in there at Clayton. A beautiful store there in Clayton, but online as well at thediamondshop.net.
In Missouri, farming isn't just a profession, it's a purpose. You can feel it in our 27 million acres of farmland. You can see it in the nearly 41,000 Missourians who work in agriculture. You can hear it at our farmers markets. You can count it in the $93.7 billion it brings our state. And you can taste it at your family's dinner table. A lot of farmers in our state rely on Bayer's tools and inventions because Bayer has a purpose too. To help farmers thrive. Learn more at go.bayer.com/purpose. Paid for by Bayer.
If you owe the IRS, you have a legal issue, and you need the Lance Drury Law Firm. We'll protect your rights. Log on at lancedrurylaw.com or call us toll-free at 888-367-6512.
If you're experiencing low energy, brain fog, or bloating, then your body might need a detox. Active Liver from New Nordic makes it easy to help your liver to detox your body all year long without major changes to your diet or lifestyle. Active Liver is available in stores at CVS or online at Amazon.
45.
We had a great first term, a great first term.
47.
God spared my life for a reason.
Donald Trump elected President of the United States again. It actually happened.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show.
The thing I think is most important to remember is the people who said that he was a Hitler lover weren't Democrats. They were Republicans. People who said that he was a fascist weren't Democrats. They were Republicans who worked for him. And so it's not just these elite Democrats over here, poisoning the well. You had a pretty broad consensus from the Chomsky to the Cheneys, that was very, very concerned and remains concerned. And so I think it's not just on us to stop calling names. I think it's up to him to, as Allison said, with deeds show that he's not going to be those things.
I mean, Van Jones, come on. What are you doing? He's saying that Republicans are calling Donald Trump Hitler and fascist and so on and so forth. And he said from Chomsky to the Cheneys. And the reason he did that is because he wanted to be able to say Dick Cheney, Liz Cheney are Republicans. Noam Chomsky? Are you freaking kidding me? Like, if you could find the leftist most point on the spectrum of politics, he's on the left side of the leftist side. I remember remember being in college I graduated college in 2006, so this might have been like 2003 or 2004. And it was a philosophy class, but it was a philosophy class you had to take with communications. And boy, we talked a lot about Noam Chomsky. I have never heard Noam Chomsky's name outside of college unless the leftists are trying to push him as some sort of like rational thinker.
Right.
It's always people on the left are like putting him out there, MSNBC or whatever. Like I would venture to say the majority of you have probably never heard of Noam Chomsky. And you are lucky to have never heard of Noam Chomsky. But Van Jones is saying, yeah, people are calling Donald Trump Hitler and fascist. But it's his people who are. Do the Cheneys have anything to lose if Donald Trump gains power? Personally, do they have anything to lose? Because, like, from a policy standpoint, Liz Cheney voted with Donald Trump all the time.
Mm-hmm.
If Liz Cheney is voting with Donald Trump all of the time, and now she and her father. And I just think you cannot disconnect the fact that Liz Cheney's father is Dick Cheney. And Dick Cheney is known as one of the biggest, warmongers or whatever that we've had in the government.
He's a war hawk guy.
Yeah. Was he Blackwater?
You'd have to be more specific.
I'm thinking of the Doobie Brothers when you say that,
no,
I don't know.
Blackwater, the paramilitary, private military security group, Blackwater. That was
possibly, but still Doobie Brothers to me.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
I just want to sing the song now.
I know, me too.
You totally derailed the whole conversation.
No, I'm sorry. But with
blame Brad.
It's funny, like comparing these people and saying, "Oh, it's from Noam Chomsky, which is the farthest
that covers
left,
everybody,
up to like barely right of center. Everybody says it about him. It's like saying, the unbiased Southern Poverty Law Center has confirmed.
Yes.
Like, oh, okay, I see where you're coming from already.
It's outrageous, but people know that. People understand that. Van Jones, what he's saying here, the interesting thing is you can blink and miss it, but what he's saying here is like, maybe we should stop calling Trump Hitler.
I did miss that from that.
Yeah, listen to it again. He's basically saying that, but he's just saying Republicans, you go first.
The thing I think is most important to remember is the people who said that he was a Hitler lover weren't Democrats. They were Republicans. People who said that he was a fascist weren't Democrats. They were Republicans who worked for him. And so it's not just these elite Democrats over here poisoning the well. You had a pretty broad consensus from Chomsky to the Cheneys, that was very, very concerned and remains concerned. And so I think it's not just on us to stop calling names.
Did you hear it?
I think you're giving him too much credit because I still don't hear it.
It's not just on us to stop calling his
name. I think it's up to him to, as Allison said, with deeds show that he's not going to be those things.
He's saying there that, okay, I hear that you were trying to get us to stop calling names, and I hear you saying that, but he should also stop being Hitler.
I was going to say, we'll stop calling him that once he stops being that.
Yeah, that's exactly what I heard too.
You think Van Jones is going to benefit from Donald Trump being the president of the United States?
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you think Van Jones knows that? I do.
I think so. I think they all know that this is better for their cable careers for sure.
Here's more from the loony left. We're going to listen to AOC.
We are about to enter a political period that will have consequences for the rest of our lives. We cannot give up. We now find ourselves in a time in history that has precedent, and we find ourselves, I believe, in a time where there are let's say, peers in history of mass movements of people that mobilized to protect one another in times of fascism and authoritarianism.
I think that Kamala's writers needed a job and went and handed AOC something to say. If AOC is worried,
she does sound like she's reading that.
If AOC is worried and unsure that the future of the country is going to be one that's good in her mind, I'm encouraged.
Those sound like words that aren't hers.
Tyrus is on the line with us.
You're becoming like my most stable relationship.
Mr. called it landslide, said there's nothing to worry about, put his feet up and had a sip of an ice cold beer. Also a regular on Gutfeld, Fox News contributor, and his book, which you should be reading and getting for Christmas, Nuff Said, is available right now. Tyrus, welcome back to the show. Good to have you.
Yes, I was wrong about my Red Sox, but right about this one.
You got it right for me. That appeases my worries. What do you think about the results? You called it. You were boldly saying it before anybody was brave enough to say it, that everybody can relax. It was going to be a landslide.
Yeah, and I just like to say I heard that AOC. She keeps using the word we. It's not we, it's you. And you should be terrified because now Americans are holding officials accountable for not doing anything. How many laws have you passed and legislation? You got your ass kicked, and not by one group. Can't blame it on black men, can't blame it on Hispanic men, can't blame it on Asian men, gay men, straight men, women. It was a multicultural ass whipping of epic proportions because America's tired of people that get the opportunity to serve and they only serve themselves. Yeah. Or the blatant incompetence and DEI hires and playing with the American taxpayers' money like it's yours. No, not even like it's yours, like it's your parents'. It's probably a better description. So this was and this is why he has the Senate. Pretty sure he's going to have the House. He's got a mandate, high 300s when they finally stop crying and admit that he wins the rest of the states still out there. And I've been outside all day enjoying the sun, so it might have happened. I don't know.
Vitamin D is good for you.
It is. It really is. So the crying, the Kimmels, and they don't. There's the reason why their numbers are the way they are, and keep doing what you're doing because the American people are tired of it. And these lies about women's rights and health is in danger. I mean, it's an absolute joke. This is the United States of America. President Trump's wife is a strong woman. His daughter is a strong woman. His in-laws are strong women. 90% of his staff is kick-ass women. So the idea of these fake narratives that they've ran for the last 8 years is out the window, and they're going to still try to do it because they got them attention. But AOC can't even spit out her speech. Like they're running out of lies to say.
Yeah.
So and if I was her, I would probably get back to D.C. and get in your desk. I know you don't use it much. And come up with some legislation because I'm pretty sure your district's going to be like, what have you been doing besides going to dances and talking trash?
Yeah.
Because that's what needs to be held accountable.
What's your advice, Tyrus, to Republicans? We've talked a lot about the word being validated, the thoughts that we've had for a long time under Joe Biden and Kamala Harris's administration. You kind of think like every single time they have opportunity to make a decision, they make the wrong one. And with the majority, the popular vote going to Donald Trump and him winning a decisive election, it does feel very validated. But what do you say, not to the people who won election and have a job to do, what do you say to those Trump voters right now? How do you handle this moment that is pretty positively emotional?
I think normally I would say not take your victory lap, but given the fact that poor sportsmanship is epic, get your lap on. Maybe take two, because I think it needs to be abundantly clear to them. Because here's the thing, they don't get to say it was Russian hoaxes. It was sounding. I was calling it for so long, I should have bet. But I didn't because I'm a man of integrity when it comes to my politics. But the resounding America was unhappy. We did not like the way our White House was being treated. We had cocaine, sex videos, people with no qualifications having jobs. They were spitting in the face of the American people. Joe Biden was unfit to serve. Instead of doing the right thing and the right thing for him, they didn't. They continued to lie to the American people. They passed policies that he would have never, based off his 50-year career, would have never supported. The American people didn't support. They tried to tell us that it was okay for a biological man to beat the hell out of a woman at the Olympics, and we were wrong for questioning it. We didn't know what a woman was. They basically, a small group, it was the Bud Light election. That's what it was. It was the Bud Light election. They said America was fratty, and they needed to make changes, and they were going to make their changes, and America said, yeah, we're going to move on. And they did, resoundingly. So the pressure is on President Trump and his team. He's assembled literally the Justice League from all across America. And he needs to be able to deliver. And I think he is a focused, he is humble, sitting and talking with him and spending the time. Oh, a dove just landed on my shoulder.
Ooh.
Man, I'm telling you.
What else?
Just
keep preaching.
Yeah, they get it. The animals are with us.
Hold your arms out. More doves will come.
You going to sing a song like
I
a
don't
princess?
have to hold my arms out. I'm jacked.
His arms are out, Ryan.
Always.
Yeah. Yeah, they're on my. He was on my trap for a second. Now he's back to the grass eating seeds. But,
You have birds landing on you in the yard with it sounds like a nice trickle of water in
Snow
the background.
White ain't got nothing on me. You understand? Like I got deer.
You know, Disney's Snow White
everywhere,
isn't
like,
white
everything
anymore. You should audition.
I was sitting next to my fish pond singing a country song.
I saw the video.
Yes, that's how mine was election day. I had no doubt in the American people. I sat down with the man. I talked to him man to man, and I just felt completely confident after speaking to him, seeing his team, how diverse it was, seeing how everyone had a voice, seeing the leadership behind the scenes. Jason did a wonderful job. His personal assistants were so polite and thorough. Timing-wise, they did not mess around. Like, this was just a unified thing across America. It was a multicultural testament. And I think the sad part is we're really seeing the selfish people. President Biden had a magnificent speech. Who knew at the end he would become the unifier? And I couldn't help but notice that Dr. Jill had a red jacket on. I know who she voted for.
I know. I think I know what she didn't vote for.
Yeah, I think I know. But the point is, America had enough.
Yeah.
And the ones who are still crying, they're probably crying because they're on that Diddy list, because they will no longer have the DOJ and people to protect them because they donate money or get money to speak out and hang out with them. Americans don't care about celebrities. They care about their tables, their neighborhoods, their police departments, their fire departments, their schools. And I think that was what this election was about. One who will listen and sit at the table with anyone, a guy like me, for example, the Theo Vaughns of the world, the Joe Rogans of the world, everyday people, the gardener, the baker, the McDonald's manager. He will sit down and talk. And if you have a good idea, he will use it. I mean, next thing I know, one of mine was in policies. And listen, I'm not saying I'm an epidemiologist or nothing. I'm just, I'm just who I am. So I think that's just a good feeling in the country. Now that he has the work that needs to be done, he has. There are no excuses to get to work, and I feel like he's done. He's put people that have disagreed with him, who literally have sued him. You're not seeing that on the other side. And again, I think the Jimmy Kimmels of the world, the Joy Reids of the world, your message clearly was a sound rejection. And I think shame on them also for a lot of the young, impressionable people in this world that are crying and acting like they're, that's your fault. That's what you do when you call somebody Hitler with absolute, and like you concede to Hitler. What? Who concedes to Hitler? She should have came out on the microphone and run for your life, head to Canada, Mexico. Hitler's coming. You don't get to say the things he's going to kill. He's not, women are in danger. You said all these things, and then you concede to him. And the president comes out and says the American people have spoken. So, again, shame on them because they couldn't run on policy. They were running a progressive agenda. They couldn't get it done. America said no, resoundingly. If this was a football game at the third quarter, the crowd would have been able to play. So I'm optimistic. But again, if things aren't being delivered, I will be the first one to be like, hey, what are we doing?
Yeah. Yes, you will.
But I think because I think to be an independent, strong man or woman in this country is a valuable resource. and President Trump is not intimidated by that.
Tyrus, we are so grateful for you for making the time for us each week when we know you're an incredibly busy person. You are by far the person.
You guys let me on when no one even, they're like, Tyrus, what the hell is that?
Oh, no.
So you got
people
me.
know. We are grateful for you, and I'm very much so looking forward to the days and the weeks to come where we can have some conversations of a different tone, I hope.
Invest in tissue boxes.
Yeah, there's a lot of that these days. And real quick, why are they videoing themselves? That is not something that I'm 40. I can't imagine putting a camera up.
It's attention seeking.
It's not good. It's not
really
healthy.
sad. It's delusional. I'm going to cry so all my friends can tell me how brave I am.
Mm-hmm.
You're not brave. Again, it's not their fault. They're young. They're impressionable. And if you believe in what they were selling, and they were telling everyone they were different and special but not really, they were give you money for not working. The things that they were giving them, and then when reality hit, instead of saying, hey, we were wrong, we were pushing false narratives, they doubled down, and you can't blame them, but at the same time, you got to educate yourself. Crying, saying, I'm never going to talk to my dad again because he voted for President Trump. You got to grow up a little bit. Again, if there's some mental issues there, again, that's where responsibility, calling somebody Hitler and then saying, oh, we can't wait to work together. Shame on you.
Yeah. Tyrus, we'll talk to you again next week. Thank you so much for the time, and enjoy the birds.
Yeah.
You're doing great. We appreciate you. Regular and Gutfeld Fox News contributor, seriously, get his book. If you've been listening to the show for some time and you want to know about Tyrus, his first book is just Tyrus. It's great. I did the audio version of it, and he reads it, so it's like you're spending some time with him. And his new book is out, Enough Said. Great Christmas gifts. You can get them both. Check them out. You'll be glad you did. Good to talk to Tyrus. Hans von Spakovsky next. Did you get a text? Did you get a response from him? Yep. And so he said
he's good to go.
So we're going to ask Hans. He's our legal expert from the Heritage Foundation. The number one thing I want to ask him is all of this lawfare that's been levied against Donald Trump. I mean, he's still supposed to be sentenced.
Yeah, in about 2 or 3 weeks before the end of November.
Imagine the converse, Kamala winning, and that is upon us.
Yes.
What happens next? There are so many questions surrounding the legal challenges that were thrown in front of Donald Trump to try to stop him from becoming the president of the United States, and they did not work. But they're still out there. Or are they? I don't know. Hans von Spakovsky. He'll level it down for us when we come back. Don't go away.
This is the Annie Fry Show.
Stewart's American Mortgage and the Bagel Loan, 314-324-4440, 314-324-4440. You want to hook up with Stewie right now if you're looking to buy a home because you don't want to pay an extra dime, and Stewie will help you with that. The low rates that you are hoping to be able to get, you're going to be able to get those lowest rates with Stewie. However low they are, Stewie's going to be able to get you whatever the lowest rate is you qualify for. But on top of it, when you get to the end of that whole process and the closing costs come in, not with a bagel loan. When you were working with Stewart's American Mortgage, he takes care of the closing costs for you, so you do not have to pay them. They don't get rolled into the loan. You don't pay them over time. They don't exist. The bagel loan is only available with Stewie at Stewart's American Mortgage. And as is with everything, the whole game is about to change, and you want to make sure that you have someone who understands exactly what is coming next, and Stewie absolutely does. I've 2-time refinanced with Stewie because lower rates were available for me each time. I encourage you to go out and do the same. 314-324-4440, 314-324-4440. You can Google the bagel loan for more information on Stewart's American Mortgage, NMLS number 226715.
Are you worried about the state of the economy? Concerned about market crashes and rising inflation wiping out your savings? At Noble Gold Investments, we understand your fears and have a solution. Call us today at 1-888-403-1050. Imagine safeguarding you and your family with a tangible asset that has stood the test of time. Gold. With Noble Gold Investments, you can diversify your portfolio and protect your wealth from economic turmoil. Our team will guide you through the process process ensuring you make informed decisions that best suit your needs. Call Noble Gold Investments today at 1-888-403-1050. That's 1-888-403-1050. The future is uncertain. Take control now. Call 1-888-403-1050.
Past performance may not be indicative of future results. Investing in precious metals, including gold, involves risks. Consult with your tax attorney or financial professional before making an investment decision.
Hey, St. Louis, are you in search of top-notch cybersecurity solutions? Look no further. ThrottleNet is here to help. Ransomware attacks are on the rise, putting businesses like yours at risk. Don't let cyber criminals jeopardize your hard-earned success. ThrottleNet provides comprehensive cybersecurity services tailored specifically to your unique needs. Our award-winning customer service provides 24/7 protection to keep your data safe and secure. Take charge of your digital security today. Protect your business, protect your future. ThrottleNet.com, your reliable partner in cybersecurity.
You've listened to 97.1 FM Talk. You've heard of Doug Voss of Voss Financial and Safe Money Radio, as he has been a staple as the financial expert on the station for many years. You can hear him on Safe Money Radio several times a weekend right here on 97.1 FM Talk. And you can talk to Doug Voss directly. Here's his number. Call Doug at 844-676-SAFE. That is 844-676-7233. Doug Voss is a registered representative. Securities offered through D.H. Hill Securities, LLLP. Member FINRA and SIPC.
If you're thinking of getting new hardwood, carpet, laminate, or vinyl flooring at one of those big box or discount stores, put it on hold. As in Reinhold. Reinhold Flooring, covering St. Louis and beyond since 1988. Residential or builder, you'll find everything you need in our showroom on Telegraph. When it comes to investing in your home, you want the best in carpet, laminate, vinyl flooring, or area rugs. Put those others on hold with Reinhold Flooring. Stop by Telegraph Road or learn more at reinholdflooring.com.
Attention, Missouri residents in need of care at home. If you have Medicaid and need assistance with daily activities, you can receive free in-home care from a loved one, funded by Medicaid with no cost to you. Freedom Care, Missouri's #1 home care provider, gives you the power to choose who provides your care, and they get paid instantly. Imagine your daughter, son, a close relative, or trusted friend helping you with cooking, transportation, laundry, and other activities in your own home. You get the help you need, and your caregiver gets paid instantly after their shift. Freedom Care has over 5,000 five-star Google reviews and is #1 in Missouri for in-home care. If you have Medicaid and want great care from a loved one that's 100% free to you, go to freedomcare.com or call 314-557-3027. That's 314-557-3027. 314-557-3027.
We all know how important nutrition is to our health, and now is the time to do something about it. With Neovitamin Women's Multivitamin, you can give your body sensible doses of vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants to support your daily health. Created by a St. Louis physician, Neovitamin Women's Multivitamin is formulated with our proprietary blend for daily support you won't find anywhere else. Best of all, you can get Neovitamin Women's Multivitamin delivered right to your door with our convenient monthly subscription. Go to neovitamin.com and sign up for a subscription today.
Happy Thanksgiving from Grill Master Tony. Mark Cox here. You know, Tony says brisket is the new turkey. You can get Thanksgiving for 10 people or more, starting at just $21 per person. Get sliced brisket, about a half pound per person, roasted potatoes, country green beans, bourbon barbecue baked beans, French bread from Pete's Italian Baking Company on the Hill, all delivered to your house. You can order right now. Get your orders in early. It's grillmastertony.com.
You're listening to the Annie Fry Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Air Comfort Service is hiring licensed journeymen. Don't have a journeyman license? Air Comfort Service will help you get it. Get guaranteed hours year-round and more. Apply online at aircomfortservice.com.
The Mark Reardon Show.
Thursday afternoon. Okay, the gloating is over. Maybe, I think. But we're going to talk about the real work and how it begins and the priorities. What happens next? It all starts at 3.
Weekdays from 3 to 6.
St. Louis is home for conservative talk.
This is the Annie Fry Show. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
Cause somebody done me wrong. Don't think for a minute that I'm gonna sit around and sing some old
sad song. I believe it's half full, not a half empty glass.
Judge Juan Merchan, he's given himself a deadline of November 12th to decide if the conviction against Trump should be tossed. Based on the Supreme Court's recent ruling on immunity, if he tosses the conviction, there'll be no sentencing.
We the people of the United States,
More perfect.
in our form of our perfect union,
Heritage legal expert Hans von Spakovsky.
Well, Hans von Spakovsky back on the Annie Fry Show, now with some results to talk about as well. Donald Trump wins the election. Hans, welcome back to the show. It's good to have you here.
Well, thanks for having me. It's been a very interesting week, hasn't it?
It sure has. Don't have to ask you specifically about, are we protecting our elections? In a minute, I'll ask you if you felt like we protected them and if they're better suited in 2024 than 2020. But the main question that I have for you as a legal expert with the Heritage Foundation, Hans, there's a lot of lawfare that has been levied against Donald Trump leading up to this moment. He is the president-elect. We're hearing rumblings about Jack Smith, and he's supposed to be sentenced in a few weeks. Can you kind of lay out for us the legal challenges that President-elect Donald Trump currently faces?
All right. Well, remember, he's got two federal prosecutions going on against him, criminals. There's the one down in Florida, which is under the Espionage Act. Then there's the one up in the District of Columbia, also by Jack Smith, claiming that he defrauded the U.S. with, what was happening on January 6th. The stories are already out that Jack Smith is talking to his superiors at the DOJ about dismissing these lawsuits because it is the longtime policy and view of the U.S. Justice Department that you cannot prosecute a sitting president. Now, this comes on top of the fact that you'll recall that the judge down in Florida ruled that Jack Smith had been illegally appointed, that the Attorney General had no authority to appoint him as a special counsel. That case is on appeal before the 11th Circuit Court of Appeals. But that issue also arises in the D.C. case. So I think pretty much those two federal cases, they're done. They're gone. That leaves the Georgia prosecution, Fani Willis. As you know, December 5th, there was supposed to be arguments in an appeal that she filed before the Georgia Court of Appeals, which said that her former lover, I guess, Nathan Wade, had to be dismissed from the case. The case was appealed because lawyers for the defendant said, well, she also should have been recused from the case because of her unethical, unprofessional conduct. She has a huge problem, even if that case were to go forward, because of, as you remember, the U.S. Supreme Court's case on presidential immunity, which said you can't prosecute a president for official acts he commits in office. And if you look at her indictment, it's filled with official acts that she claims were criminal. So, frankly, I think her case falls apart, too. That leaves the two cases, obviously, in New York, the one brought by Alvin Bragg, the one brought by Letitia James, the Attorney General. They've gotten verdicts in both cases. Quite frankly, if the judges in those cases were not as politically biased as they are, they would dismiss the cases despite the verdicts. There are lots and lots of problems with those cases, but I don't know if that's going to happen. Judge Merchan, who's probably one of the worst state court judges in the country, may try to sentence him to time in prison. The Secret Service is going to object to anything like that. They're going to say they can't protect a president in prison. I would hope that he would actually act rationally, that is the judge, and not go forward with this. But there's no telling what the Attorney General and Alvin Bragg will do.
So it is within the realm of possibility that Donald Trump, who was convicted on those 34 charges that were 34 different ways to say that he committed the same crime, as my recollection, it is possible that Judge Merchan could still sentence him to jail time.
That's right. And by the way, it wasn't just 34 times doing the same thing. It was 34 times for committing an imaginary crime, something that is not criminal under the law. I would actually hope that the Justice Department, under new leadership, might actually come in and start fighting what Bragg is doing. Because remember, that in that case, Bragg was claiming a violation of federal law. And state, city prosecutors, they don't have any authority to prosecute federal cases. And yet the Justice Department, the Biden Justice Department, they just sat by and didn't do or say anything.
So there's an appeal of that case, correct?
Correct.
What is the process there and the timeline?
That's up before the Court of Appeals. I would hope they would now expedite their decision on the matter and come out with a decision, hopefully throwing the entire case out. The political consequences and, frankly, constitutional consequences of trying to put a elected president in prison. We've never had that ever happen before, and there's a good reason for that. Both of those cases, particularly the one filed by Letitia James also, those were just claims without any merit. And look, it's not just me saying this. Andy McCarthy, as you know, who's a former very good assistant U.S. prosecutor in New York, has said exactly the same thing. These were bogus cases. They were political prosecutions, and we just have to hope that maybe finally the legal system in New York will come to its senses and quit acting politically and try to get rid of these cases. By the way, if Alvin Bragg was smart, the New York DA, he would do that because, he's only one of two of the left-wing rogue Soros-supported prosecutors left in the country. The latest one, all the rest have been defeated or have resigned from office. And the latest was just Steve Gaskin, the bizarre. I mean, he got whipped in the polls and was thrown out by the L.A. voters who were tired of somebody who wasn't interested in actually prosecuting real crimes.
Hans von Spakovsky with us right now. On these appeals, when you talk about the potential of a judge dismissing these cases, whether it's Merchan or the appeals court, if Donald Trump has been found guilty on these charges and then the cases are dismissed, does that exonerate Donald Trump?
Well, certainly if the appeals court, for example, comes in and says there were no valid grounds for the conviction, I think that does exonerate him.
So he would would that be expunged from his record? He wouldn't have that be a part of his official record any longer?
That is correct. Yeah.
Oh, man. I have a bazillion more questions, and we have, fortunately, a lot of time to talk about this as the weeks do come, and we do know that President-elect Donald Trump will have the ability to push back on some of these things. I do want to ask you, though, how you feel about the way the election was carried out. And we saw lots of things kind of bubble up to the surface. It seemed like from the side that we were looking at, certainly that the RNC jumped in quick with a team of lawyers to try to clarify or push back on various instances. But compare in your mind as an election integrity expert, 2020 versus 2024.
We were in much better shape in 2024 all over the country. Georgia passed a huge reform package that helped ensure this year there really weren't any big controversies in Georgia. Same thing in North Carolina, another battleground state. And also the big difference you just mentioned. Look, in 2020, neither the RNC nor the Trump campaign were prepared for the tactics that were being used by Democrats, which was to make sudden changes right before the election that violated state law, and nothing was done about it. This time, when these kind of isolated incidents occurred, they went to court immediately, like the county in Pennsylvania that when people were in line to vote early, when the closing time came, told everybody in line, we have to go home, you can't vote. Well, that's a violation of state law. You can't do that. If you're in line at the time the polling place closes, you are entitled to vote. Well, the RNC, the Trump campaign, they were in court immediately and got an order from a judge saying, you're right, the county just violated state law. You have to have extended hours now, early voting, to make up for that. They did that in more than one location. There were other places where this also happened. This time they were ready, and they were able to thwart a lot of the efforts to try to manipulate and, frankly, break the rules to gain a political advantage.
Hans, this is Ryan Wiggins. I've heard a lot of people asking, is the RNC, is this team of lawyers still active post-election looking into these issues? Because obviously Donald Trump's going to be the president. But are they still saying, no, we still got to look into these things quickly?
I don't know if they are. I hope they are. Because people need to understand that we can't rest on our laurels here. There are still a lot of things that need to be fixed. Just look at Arizona. We're still waiting on results in Arizona. And the reason for that is that despite the problems they had in 2020, the problems they had in the 2022 election, they haven't fixed any of those. And so how many days after the election, and that's one of the states, we're still waiting for them to come up with the results, that tells you there's still a lot of work that needs to be done, certainly before the next congressional elections in 2026.
Hans von Spakovsky, it's so great to have you shepherding us through these last 4 years, and we're looking forward to the conversations as they continue on into Trump's presidency. It's going to be very interesting, and you always bring a legal expertise to our audience. We're really thankful for that. So we'll talk to you again soon, and look forward to some very positive, forward-thinking conversations.
Annie, thanks for having me.
Of course. Bye-bye. Hans von Spakovsky is a senior legal fellow at the Heritage Foundation, a former FEC commissioner as well, Department of Justice lawyer. Watching as soon as the main thing that I am so looking forward to as time progresses here, talking to Hans about, is what the Trump administration does to the bureaucracy in the Justice Department. The idea that we would actually have truth and justice back in our American government where there is no lawfare. You don't get in there and do to them what they did to us, but you do find out and root out corruption and crime, and you prosecute that. You don't manufacture it, which is what they've been doing to Donald Trump.
We couldn't speculate on what the news cycle, what the stories were going to be post-election, because we didn't know how this was going to go.
It was a 90-degree turn to the right or the left.
Exactly. So all these things now, it's like you have to revisit everything and go, okay, now under these circumstances, what does this look like?
I just want to add in here, I think Fox has not called Nevada or Arizona yet. I've seen other people say that it's been called, but New York Times hasn't either. Nevada has 92% of the vote in, and Donald Trump is up by 4 points. Looking good there. And in Arizona, they have 71% of the votes in, and he's got 5 points there. So let's wait and see. Gosh, call it during our show. Hooray. We can do a...
Yeah, we can play the little sounder.
Stamp it red.
Stamp it red.
Mark Reardon knows how to do that, of course, as well. But we'll wait and see. One way or the other, Trump is well over 270, and we are very, very happy about it. Join us on the Annie Frey YouTube channel. Will we see an orderly transfer of power, yes or no? We've heard from both Kamala Harris and Joe Biden that we would. Do you believe it? When we come back, Wiggins America, are you ready for it?
I'm ready.
All
Let's
right.
go.
Ryan Wiggins and Wiggins America next on the Annie Frey Show. Look away.
There's no way of knowing what tomorrow
This is the Annie Frey Show. The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
I ain't here for a long time. I'm here for a good time.
Air Comfort Service. You find them right now online at aircomfortservice.com. As your temperature in your home and outside is getting cooler, make sure that your comfort zone is easily achieved with the help of Air Comfort Service. If your furnace isn't working great, if it wasn't working last time, or if all of a sudden you realize, gosh, it's been running for a long time and it's chilly in here, what's going on? Air Comfort Service can come in and help diagnose that. If you end up needing a new furnace, which is not a happy day for anybody, I get it. I've had to go through that myself. I wanted to make sure that I was in the best of hands. That's why I called Air Comfort Service out to my house, and it happened to be like 2 days after Christmas a few years ago. If you need a new furnace, boiler, heat pump, or an entire HVAC system, you can call Corey Malone and the team at Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation and know that you are in the best of hands. you can, through November 23rd, enjoy Carrier Cool Cash rebates because they are back. You can save up to $2,100 in Carrier Cool Cash on qualifying HVAC equipment. Plus, you can qualify for 0% financing for up to 72 months, utility rebates, tax credits. And if you reach out to them for a free estimate at 314-513-0091, you can get answers to your questions and quickly, ones that you can rely on. They certainly gave us options of a way to move forward. And I was very appreciative of the honesty and the assessment of the system so we can know we were making a smart decision. The smart decision starts by calling Air Comfort Service, 314-513-0091, or hit them up online at aircomfortservice.com.
The Roots and Boots Tour 90s Electric Throwdown with Sammy Kershaw,
That's my story.
Colin Ray,
That's my
and Aaron Tippett. This Saturday night at 7 at the Family Arena.
There ain't nothing wrong with
Reserved seats on sale now at the Carroll House Furniture Box Office, located at the Family Arena or at Ticketmaster. Roots and Boots Tour 90s Electric Throwdown.
Step into a world of enchantment this holiday season with Cirque Musica Holiday Wonderland. From awe-inspiring acrobatics to gravity-defying aerial feats, it's the perfect fusion of circus artistry and beloved holiday songs in a celebration guaranteed to create memories for the entire family. December 5th, 7 p.m., the Family Arena. On sale at the Carroll House Furniture Box Office, located at the Family Arena or Ticketmaster. Inspire your holiday spirit with Cirque Musica Holiday Wonderland.
And a lot of people, when they come in, they'll say, I'm usually much more active, but since I've been in pain, I've had to limit the activities I'm doing.
You're listening to Janelle, an arch support specialist at the Good Feet store.
So he came in and he wanted to be able to keep up, play sports with his kids. And from there, we figure out which arch supports complement those activities. I fit him with the arch supports, and as I followed up with him, he's messaged me and said, I took my kids to the park today. We're walking, we're exercising, riding the bikes, and those are all things that he wasn't doing before because he was in pain.
For over 25 years, the Good Feet store's arch support specialists have been helping folks to live the life they love without foot, knee, hip, or back pain getting in the way.
Our goal is to have that long-term change for them. That's what's most important, is knowing that you leave an impact on someone's life. And I like that.
Try them for yourself. Stop in for a free personalized fitting and test walk at the Good Feet store.
Visit one of our 2 locations, Creve Coeur and Shiloh, Illinois, and at goodfeet.com.
Honey, is our car still under warranty?
No, not anymore.
My sister just got an extended service plan from Ox Car Care.
Ox Car Care?
Yeah, Ox will cover our repair bills if anything happens to our car, new brakes, a transmission, AC, or engine problems. Plus, Ox Car Care offers free oil changes, tire rotation, and roadside assistance.
Wait a minute, we pay nothing on the repairs? Ox gets it fixed for us? Free oil changes, free tire rotation, and free roadside assistance? What's the number?
800-296-3315. Ox has a 30-day money-back guarantee and an A-plus rating with the Better Business Bureau. They handle their claims from start to finish, unlike other warranty companies. We should call now. 800-296-3315.
The last thing we need is an unexpected car repair bill. I'm calling Ox Car Care now.
Call Ox Car Care for your free quote. 800-296-3315. Ask about senior and military discounts. Don't get stuck with a major car repair bill. Call Ox Car Care, 800-296-3315 or oxcarcare.com.
Learn to retire in 5 years or less through real estate investing. Learn how, learn now. Let Lifestyles Unlimited show you how. Live in St. Louis, 2 days only, Hilton Frontenac, November 9th and 10th. Go to DellHelpMeNow.com. That's DellHelpMeNow.com.
You've been listening to the very popular Wellness One for many years, Saturdays and Sundays on 97.1 FM Talk. We're happy to share that we've expanded the show to 4 times a week. Yes, 4 times every weekend. Saturday at 10 a.m., Saturday at 8 p.m., Sunday at 9 a.m., and Sunday at 2 p.m. It's the same great show designed to cut through the nonsense and provide you a common sense, science-based strategy for a healthy life. So join TJ and Aaron for Wellness One. Now, 4 times a week on 97.1 FM Talk.
Today, we're asking you the question, will we see an orderly transfer of power? Yes or no? That's today's YouTube live chat poll. You find that poll by opening YouTube, typing in Annie Fry, and seeing today's date come up. You can also see the live stream there. You click on that, you can watch the show, as well as listen to it and vote in the poll. 151. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
JerryKelly.com.
Wiggins.
Oh, Wiggins.
I just found this interesting because it's how to deal if you've lost an election.
Oh, well, we've been there.
So that's what I said. Like, it's not that we're just taking a victory lap here. Like, we've been there. So
I want you to remember for the rest of your life the details of 2020, the whole year. What a bizarre year. But the punctuation on it was losing the election.
2020 election, the last two have been so emotionally draining for everybody that I think a lot of going into this year was people just bracing for that again. And I don't know if I speak for anybody else, but I actually felt pretty good going into this year. So I almost feel less up and down than I did in 2016 and 2020. But I know there are a lot of people out there who are, experiencing that same feeling that we felt maybe in 2020. And this is from She Knows. So I'm guessing they lean left.
Who knows?
She
does.
She does.
Her. Okay.
And so these are techniques and ways to deal with your anxiety if you have just lost an election. And a lot of these are just sort of general, like help with anxiety in general. So the first one is breathe, breathe, breathe. This one is a classic. Check in with your breath. If your anxiety is kicking up or your physical symptoms, you just need something that isn't a graph or a map or a needle to hold your attention. Breathing exercises.
I had to physically remind myself to take full breaths before the election.
That's maybe the most nervous I've ever seen you.
I was uncomfortable. I was not stable. It was not good.
But
I'm not really a nervous person.
Do you think that it was because of the we keep calling it PTSD from the last two going into this one that you were just bracing?
We have for so long, every opportunity something has to go right, it went wrong to the nth degree. It seemed to me foolish to think that what was so obvious, and I don't know if I said this on the air, but I said this to people personally in my life. They'd be like, what do you think is going to happen? I said, I think he should win big. But I don't believe that that's necessarily what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Like I don't, and it's not like I didn't think it was going to happen. I couldn't muster myself to believe it was going to happen again because I feel like I've learned the lesson. It's like a hit dog. I just have this visceral, reflexive reaction to going, well, there's no way. I would be so happy if he won. I'm not going to be allowed to be that happy.
Yeah. I looked at so much data. And I said this on this show, I said this on my weekend show, that I thought he would win every single swing state just based on data. But there was something in me every single time I would say it that was going, don't you dare tempt me with a good time.
Don't go there yet.
Yeah,
just don't go there.
Ryan, I've been very focused on my breathing these last couple of minutes you guys have been talking. It's already helping me with my anxiety about Donald Trump being president. I just wanted to let you know. Thank you.
You're welcome. Here's
She
another
knows.
one.
Ryan's a helper.
You should try this. Yeah, she knows. You should try this.
Okay.
Positive thoughts and affirmations and visualizations work. It says thinking can feel like such a corny task when there's a lot of negativity around you, but it can be a great tool along with some positive visualizations to disrupt a negative thought spiral.
So, like, should I draw a pretty picture? Is that what you mean? Like,
if you're a decent artist, if you're not and you draw it, you're going to be depressed.
So caring.
I think you should draw a picture of Annie again, like the caricature that's in your guys' office.
Yeah, but actually put some effort into it this time.
You think that I didn't?
I know that you didn't. It's hanging in our office.
I put a ton of effort into that. That is super offensive.
That may have been the first time that I cried real tears when I was with you guys. Was like, what is that? Like, that's Ryan's drawing of Annie. Oh my goodness.
Okay, on the Annie Fry Show Facebook page, I will repost the drawing I did of Ryan, who he unknowingly didn't know that you didn't realize that was happening during the show. I just randomly had a blank piece of paper.
I just look over at her, and like normally we're looking at each other, we're looking at the cameras, whatever. And I look over, and Annie is not looking at anything. She's just looking straight down while she's doing the show. I'm like, what are you doing?
I did a good show that day.
Yeah, you did a fine show.
I perform better doing most things when I'm doing multiple things at one time.
So finally, after like a segment or two, I just walk over like, what are you doing? And I'm afraid of what I might find, and rightfully so, because it was me. I found myself. It was like looking into a paper mirror.
I think I drew you better than you actually look.
Oh, I'm much more attractive in that drawing.
When did you decide you were going to draw Annie?
At that moment.
Okay.
And then you took 46 seconds.
Uh-huh. Yeah, and have you ever seen the Star Trek episode where they find the alien that's not a human?
No.
That's a blob thing?
No.
And they're like, I think it's sentient. She looks like that.
Okay.
Any more advice for people who are sad today?
Keep listening to the show.
Yes, thank you.
Says that.
Limit your social media use.
Facts.
That's, I mean, if you want to get away from it
You got to
right
walk
now,
away.
that's where you go. You get away from that. And then it says donate time and money to organizations doing the work that you care about. I would agree with that in principle, but I think there's going to be a whole, after going
that's
through.
kind of just like saying apply yourself. You see a problem, apply yourself to the solution.
It does sound kind of funny, though. It's saying, go ahead and give up the thing that stresses you out the most. Right? Money tends to stress people out the most. It's saying, like, lose more of that, though, to fix the problem, to be less stressed.
Also, that's a little bit of a tough pull right now. We just went through a season where you probably got 15 mailers and texts and emails a day asking you for money. That if you decide to give in this moment to some sort of political organization, great for you. But it is a little bit of tougher pull, I think, at this point.
Right.
When in doubt, last one. When in doubt, treat yourself and take care of yourself. Finding a few small acts of self-care that you can incorporate into your day is easier said than done, but indulging a bit more while you're stressed can help you fill the well. So I am fine doing that. A couple extra sodas, couple extra gummy bears dropped in the bucket.
You guys in the studio know about my distraction. My distraction that I've created for myself.
Yeah.
That I'm obsessed with. That was going to really help me in the event I needed the extra help. I'm going to share with people that tomorrow.
Oh.
It's a big thing in the Annie Fry family. All right, let's take a quick break. 2 o'clock hour right around the corner.
I'm a little lover boy. Yeah, I love my baby, the heart and soul.
RulerFoods.com. If you are looking to save money, if you're looking to stock up the pantry, you need to make sure that Ruler Foods is on your list of places to check out. And a reminder, if you've been there before, continue to save on all of the items that you like to buy, to cook, to enjoy, to bake. Maybe if you're looking to distract yourself in that way, save when you shop at Ruler Foods. It's really that simple. You can enjoy very low prices on the common brand names that you buy all the time, but also enjoy those lower prices on the Kroger brands that come at Ruler Foods prices. I shop at the one at Collinsville, my husband does, and we have been to the one in St. Charles as well. They are located all over the Illinois-Missouri area. So there is a Ruler Foods closest to you that you can find at rulerfoods.com. Maybe it's close to your business, maybe it's close to your church or to your home. Go in and enjoy the savings and tell them that the Annie Fry Show said hi. They love hearing that. Learn all the details on the savings that you can enjoy and your location at rulerfoods.com.
KFTK FM Florissant. From the Under Law Injury Lawyers, GetJim.com studio.
That's GetJim.com.
97.1 FM Talk. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
The voters have spoken. Lisa Brady, Fox News. That bottom line at the White House.
They decided they wanted Donald Trump to be president, and he's going to respect that.
Spokeswoman Karine Jean-Pierre also says President Biden still believes he did the right thing, stepping aside to let Vice President Harris run.
This is how elections are. This is. It ebbs and flows. You win, you lose, and this is where we are today. What we're going to focus on is respecting the American people and how we move forward in the next 74 days.
President Biden says he wants to make every day count.
Setbacks are unavoidable, but giving up is unforgivable. We all get knocked down. But the measure of our character, as my dad would say, is how quickly we get back up.
In a Rose Garden speech earlier today, also pledging his administration's help with a peaceful and orderly transition. He's already invited the president-elect to the White House. As the Trump transition team works on vetting potential cabinet picks, ballot counting continues in several close Senate and House races.
Every House race in New York has now been called, a state seen as one of, if not the biggest battleground state for control of the House. Laura Gillen becomes the third Democrat to flip a House seat in the Empire State after defeating Republican Anthony D'Esposito. It's a major flip as Democrats' chances of taking back the House becomes more slim. In Colorado, Republican Jeff Hurd defeated Adam Frisch in a race that was a possible flip opportunity for Democrats.
Fox's Ryan Schmelz. So far, Republicans winning 209 seats to 196 for Democrats. The Fed makes another move on interest rates.
The FOMC decided to take another step in reducing the degree of policy restraint by lowering our policy interest rate by a 1/4 percentage point.
Fed Chair Jerome Powell also says in the near term, election results will have no effect on their rate decisions. America is listening to Fox News.
Mommy, want to play a game with me and Dad?
Mommy's not feeling good.
You need to vaporize that cold.
Vaporize?
Yeah, with DayQuil VapoCool. It's DayQuil plus a rush of Vicks vapors.
Whoa.
Come on, honey. Let's let Mommy rest.
You guys are amazing. And so is DayQuil VapoCool.
DayQuil VapoCool, the vaporizing daytime coughing, aching, fever, power through your day medicine. And to vaporize sore throat pain, try Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Sinex Saline nasal spray.
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion associated with colds and year-round allergies with a gentle, ultra-fine mist that's no mess and easy to control.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it.
Enjoy life's important moments without congestion. Try Sinex Saline from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
Thursday afternoon, 60 for the high. Tonight, partly cloudy, 43 for the overnight low. Friday, pretty day. Again for November, mostly sunny and 62 dry. Friday evening and Friday night. Saturday and Saturday night, periods of rain, a couple of spot storms, 63. Sunday, partly sunny, 66. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Hi, this is Thomas Helbig with the Retirement Advisory Group.
Hi, I'm Bob Kershaw. As a family business, we are committed to protecting your retirement, whether you're nearing retirement or already retired. What if it were possible to protect you from market downturns without having to make an emotional decision to buy or sell? What if you could take advantage of a strategy that would automatically take you out of harm's way during the bad years and position you for the growth opportunity during the good years?
The secret is in linking safely to the market without putting your principal at risk. By linking to the market instead of owning the market, you can participate safely on autopilot and lock in your gains without creating a taxable event. Go online at retirementkey.com for a no-obligation retirement review. We'll teach you the strategy that has helped our clients retire with confidence for the past 38 years. And just for coming in, you'll get a copy of our latest edition book, Your Key to a Worry-Free Retirement. So go online at retirementkey.com. That's retirementkey.com.
What's it going to take for you to realize the IRS is in full-blown attack mode? And if you have IRS issues, your timely response is critical. Hi, this is Lance Drury with the Lance Drury Law Firm. We certainly know the IRS has ramped up efforts because we're seeing a lot more clients with threats of intents to seize property or levy rights to property. If you have IRS issues, call the Lance Drury Firm today. Today, don't wait. Those IRS notices have hard deadlines for exercising your appeal rights. If you miss the deadline, your rights to a legal appeal are gone. Let the Lance Drury Law Firm get between you and the IRS today, and we'll help you manage your case to achieve the best outcome. IRS problems are serious legal matters, so call Lance Drury Law Firm, located right here in St. Louis. Don't wait. Call 314-260-6120. That's 314-260-6120, and schedule your free consultation with me, Lance Drury, or visit LanceDruryLaw.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Philo's got a world of entertainment for you to explore with just one subscription. Sign up today and start watching all the networks you love, like A&E, MTV, Discovery, Lifetime, Hallmark Channel, and so much more. Featuring current seasons of all the best drama, true crime, reality, and family-friendly shows you can't afford to miss. Get started today and unlock our library of over 75,000 movies and shows. And save all your favorites with the unlimited DVR so you can rewatch them anytime, anywhere for up to a year. Philo now includes access to AMC+. You can discover your next obsession from its collection of hit originals like Mad Men, The Walking Dead, Killing Eve, Orphan Black, and tons of blockbuster movies. There are no contracts, no commitments, and no hassles. For just $28 a month, Philo's a better way to watch TV. So what are you waiting for? Visit philo.tv and sign up today to start your 7-day free trial. That's PHILO.TV.
In Missouri, farming isn't just a profession, it's a purpose. You can feel it in our 27 million acres of farmland. You can see it in the nearly 41,000 Missourians who work in agriculture. You can hear it at our farmers markets. You can count it in the $93.7 billion it brings our state. And you can taste it at your family's dinner table. A lot of farmers in our state rely on Bayer's tools and inventions because Bayer has a purpose too, to help farmers thrive. Learn more at go.bayer.com/purpose, paid for by Bayer.
If you're experiencing low energy, brain fog, or bloating, then your body might need a detox. Active Liver from New Nordic makes it easy to help your liver to detox your body all year long without major changes to your diet or lifestyle. Active Liver is available in stores at CVS or online at Amazon.
You've got thoughts. Did you know you also have a microphone? Listen to 97.1 on the Odyssey app and click the microphone to leave a voice message. Whatever's on your mind, let us know by clicking the microphone in the Odyssey app.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show.
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. Thanks for being with us this afternoon. So, of course, we have the political election results, and we know that Donald Trump is the next president. He is the president-elect. But I think that it's, every day that we get a little bit further away from the just shock of Donald Trump won the election, which is going to take me a minute. I'm going to relive that, oh, yeah, moment quite a bit, I think. Have you been having that moment yet?
Oh, every day. Every time it's brought up, I'm like, oh, yeah, this is really happening. I think because every time it's brought up, it's usually along with some sort of news item. The ball is moving forward. Mm-hmm. I saw today that immediately after we saw Trump speak on Tuesday night, which is where we had been on all night, a lot of people, that's when they kind of shut it down for the night and said, okay, I've been up pretty late. I'm going to go to bed now. We did the same. Immediately after that, you thought, now he's probably going to go to sleep too. It's probably time. And I read that he started calling staff and saying, hey, tomorrow morning we're meeting to start with transition.
Let's go.
And they were all like, oh, man.
They're drunk.
Oh, no. Oh, my God. But that was very encouraging to me because what you want
There's no time wasted.
Is that there be no time wasted. And this team that he's got, they know that. And he knows that. And so he said, election's over. Great. Let's go to work tomorrow morning.
Love it.
Yeah.
Really love it. I think that there will be lots of studies. This political comeback is, to use a phrase, like nothing we've ever seen before.
It's true, though.
And huge and beautiful.
Huge.
We talk all the time about how politics reflects the culture. And I think that at least the three of us in this room, correct me if I'm wrong, that the political climate we've been in for the last 4 years, we've been weeping for the culture for much longer than that, even leading into Donald Trump. And I would actually ironically say that Donald Trump and the version of politician that he is a product of culture that makes me a little sad. The bombastic nature of Donald Trump. But it's not the hero you want, but the hero you need for some people. Other people love him, and I understand that as well. I think that he has been so incredibly disadvantaged to the lying and the deceit and the framing that has been used against him. It's like, oh, here are his flaws. Okay, do the next person. Pick any random person off the street. And I actually think that in a secular note-by-note comparison that Donald Trump probably wins out most of the time on who you are as an individual. But culturally, I mean, what affects culture? I think religion dramatically affects culture. Our priority or deprioritization of family has a huge, huge effect on culture, because it's like, what are we trying to prop up and what are we trying to squash down? So I came across this, and I want to go through this Twitter X thread. Sorry, X. I said this yesterday, and I'm going to commit to it here to you. Out of just massive, unfettered respect for Elon Musk, we got to start calling it X. We got to start saying post instead of tweet, repost instead of retweet for Elon. Right? I think so.
And by the way, the reason, if you hear all this and you're like, why do they talk about Twitter so? Why does everybody, not just us, but why do people talk about Twitter so much? A lot of people aren't on X as much as we talk about it. It's because so much of the news cycle is driven by what happens there.
Or so much of what is in the news cycle is discussed on X. And if you can discuss an alternative point of view and then back that up with evidence that the mainstream media won't show you, you crack the narrative. They don't have the power any longer because you are able to speak freely, and you were not specifically on Twitter in the 2020 election allowed to speak freely. You were actually relegated away from the conversation and disallowed to converse. And Elon Musk said, how much is it? And he bought it, and he made it so that Twitter is now X and it's free, which is why I believe we should very much so work to just change the vernacular, whether you like it or not. If you respect Elon Musk and you're grateful for what he did, we should call it X. So here's a thread by Paul Anleitner, who is on X. His bio says, I write and speak on the intersection of religion and culture, science and philosophy, author of Disordered. He's got a master's in arts of Christian thought at Bethel Seminary. That's his bio. He said, I don't study politics, but I do study culture. And here are some of the signs that a cultural shift has been brewing for years in America that most of the professional political analysts just completely missed. Some of these may seem absurd, but hear me out. And I find this interesting, and this is why it caught me, because how Top Gun Maverick shocked the world. This is an article from November of 2022 on BBC. But this is what Paul writes about this on X. He says, the popular success of Top Gun Maverick. After the killing of George Floyd and the subsequent protests and rioting in 2020, it seemed to many in the intelligentsia that, quote, culturally relevant films needed to directly address DEI or systemic race issues to find wide appeal. Top Gun Maverick instead leaned heavily on classical modernist heroism themes embodied by a white male protagonist and Tom Cruise, course, as Maverick, who is traditional, rule-breaking figure dedicated to honor, duty, and meritocracy. Maverick represented more traditional American values of meritocracy over aristocracy amid what was supposed to be a cultural revolution intended to set up a new inverted aristocracy. That's all very, very well-spoken, well-written way to say they decided they wanted to just go tell a great story with a good guy and a bad guy with the most American way you can do it, the success of the American military, and they wanted to do it in the biggest, boldest way they could in theater. They just wanted to entertain you and tell you a story that you wanted to see, not the story they wanted you to swallow, to force it down your throat. And I remember when Top Gun Maverick was doing so well, and my husband and I went to the theater to see it because everyone was saying, Tom Cruise himself was saying, we made this for your theater experience. Like we created this movie for you to feel the leather of the movie theater seat, to feel the bass of the jets in the theater, to experience that once again. That was the whole story. And there was never anything woke surrounding it. It was just like, we want to tell you the best story we can, and we want to do it in an American movie-making fashion so that you can have the most entertaining experience. And wow, it was so strange to not be like, well, what's the part of this movie that I'm going to roll my eyes at?
Right.
When I'm in there. They just didn't do it. And it's interesting to me that they're leading a cultural shift evidence with this movie.
And it was out of Hollywood. It wasn't some random indie movie.
Tom Cruise.
It's Tom Cruise,
yeah.
Which people, for all the indie movies have done great because there's a lack of these things. Mm-hmm. But when Hollywood does it and they do it right, That's when you see massive success.
$124 million 3-day opening. And that's the funny part about it. They didn't have to tell us it was good. They got us to go to the theater. And then people were like, you have to see this movie. You want to talk about capitalism? Find out what the people want and give it to them. And they were willing to do that in 2022, and it was refreshing. The next post he has in this thread is the mass cultural influence of anti-woke comedians. While it seems that many of the political talking heads had no idea who Tony Hinchcliffe was until his Puerto Rico joke at Trump's Madison Square Garden rally, Hinchcliffe's show Kill Tony is one of the most watched, listened to podcasts in America. His show has sold out Madison Garden and other major arenas numerous times. He goes on to say Hinchcliffe, Joe Rogan, Theo Von, and others have far more influence with everyday Americans, especially men, than the old comedic vanguard of Saturday Night Live. When you compare the way people consume media in like YouTube shorts, TikTok, Instagram stories, and all that stuff, all of these little capsules of entertainment that exist, and you know that those names, that's where they thrive, and then people go to see their stories. Like, these people have the cultural relevance in comedy specifically, that when Saturday Night Live goes out and does their Saturday Night Live thing, it actually feels very old and aged. And like, okay, I guess they do those things.
That's completely true. It just feels like, oh, this is kind of like the old guard. They're doing their thing. Okay.
And doesn't it feel, I mean, of course, Saturday Night Live has been very left. Not of center, just very left for quite some time. But doesn't it feel like what they are doing, it feels like they're playing it super safe.
Yes.
Like, that's the thing about it that's so disappointing. Like, the really edgy thing that you would hope Saturday Night Live, and I don't think that the generation who's watching Saturday Night Live has ever seen Saturday Night Live be edgy. It's so predictably safe. What comedy is super predictable and safe? You lose the humor in it when you know exactly what they're going to do before the joke is even on the paper.
It's so true. And it's why the next morning people will be talking about when they do something that's cultural and doesn't toe the line. Everybody's talking about it. The left and the right are talking about it.
This Saturday, do they pay homage to Kamala Harris, or do they acknowledge that the majority of the country voted for Donald Trump? And I mean, honestly, what I would want them to do is make fun of both of them.
Yeah, I don't know how they'll handle it. I mean, Weekend Update will be the big key. But I can pretty much guarantee, and I don't know for sure, that they don't do a cold open with what's-her-face sitting on a piano crying.
Yes. Not Kristen Wiig, the other one.
Yeah, I can't remember her name either.
The sappy sadness when Hillary Clinton lost. Folks, ladies and gentlemen, I'm looking straight at you right now. I need you to listen to me. If you are devastated today because you've been told that America hates women so much that they didn't want to hand over the job just because she was a woman, can you think of any women in your life that you don't think should be in charge of the country? Do you want Britney Spears to be in charge of the country? She's a woman. Is that all that matters to you? Don't you believe that she should be a qualified woman? Because here's my point. You believe that you want to have a female be the president. I do too. I am very much in favor of that. You believe that Kamala Harris is qualified for the job and would do a good job. I do not believe that. So you see here, the key element is not the fact that she's a woman. She's not the correct woman for the job. Because I could list off 100 different women, and you wouldn't want them to be running the country. If the gender is the thing that qualifies them in your mind, and that's it, then you should be in agreement that Cardi B should absolutely take over the office of the presidency over Donald Trump. And I'm sure that there are some people who believe that. If your argument is that, yes, you desperately want to see a woman be the president of the United States, and that you feel that Kamala Harris is the qualified right woman to do it, then your problem and your disagreement with me is her ability to do the job, not that she is a she who is going to do the job. Do you see the difference? Men do not hate women in this country. In fact, they love them very much. That's just the science of it. The fact that Kamala Harris wasn't chosen by men and women in this country to win this election is she's just not the right woman. And I would venture to say that had Tulsi Gabbard run in this election, she would have the support of Republicans and Democrats alike, and that people would be running to the polls to elect Tulsi Gabbard to be the first female president of the United States because she's the right woman for the job. Not because she's a woman. It's a cherry on top. I'm so sad to hear that all of these people are so sad that they believe what they've been fed, that America hates women and doesn't believe that they can do the job. They most certainly do. Kamala Harris, she just wasn't it. It's the qualifications that we disagree on, not the gender.
The numbers don't make any sense either. I mean, this is people coping openly in the media that are saying this stuff because more women voted for Donald Trump this time than last time. More of every possible demographic and racial group that you can find voted for Donald Trump this time.
And you can't advocate that you should elect a woman just because she's a woman, and because she's a woman, she would be better at the job, when you see that more women are voting for Donald Trump. So women are either better at the job and capable of thinking for themselves, or you're saying some women are better at the job and capable for thinking for themselves. But the women who are voting for Trump, they are not capable of thinking for themselves. So then again, it's not a gender thing.
Yeah.
It depends on the person. And Kamala Harris was not a good candidate. And here's the ridiculous part about it. They know that.
Yes, they know that.
The reason they know that is because the fact that she's the woman is the leading reason they're using as to why she didn't get elected.
Remember when they would go up on the street for the last month and go, hey, why are you voting for anybody? Doesn't matter. Yeah. Just tell me why you're voting for who you're voting for. And a lot of people would say, well, Trump, because I want to get the economy back on track. I don't like inflation, border, whatever. That was pretty much the ones. That was what they'd say about Trump. He drives me crazy, but I really liked 2019, whatever. And then about Kamala, it was almost exclusively, she's younger, and
she's not an old, dying white guy.
And that's great, and I think new leadership, generational leadership, and she's a woman. Yeah. And it was like, that's...
How do you know?
That's a good question.
I just play by their rules when it's fun. More on the culture shift that may or may not be happening in the United States right now. Let us know in the YouTube chat if you think that there is an actual real cultural shift happening. And also go vote in today's YouTube live chat poll. Will we see an orderly transfer of power? Yes or no? Kamala Harris yesterday and today, the president, Joe Biden, have both emphasized that there will be an orderly transfer of power and that they will be very helpful in making that possible for Donald Trump. We'll see if that's going to happen, and we want to know what you think. So go to the Annie Fry YouTube channel and vote. When we come back, a few more reasons why maybe, just maybe, we are seeing a real cultural shift in the United States. We'll be right back.
This is the Annie Fry Show.
The website is CassonsCan.com. A very big thank you to Cassons and Sons Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and Wagoneer for sponsoring us in the Florissant Veterans Day Parade. We're going to be in that. Come say hi and support the veterans out in Florissant on Sunday. And then on Monday, the Annie Fry Show will be in the Edwardsville Veterans Day Parade. I think it starts at 3 o'clock. So check the times, the dates, 971talk.com/events if you're interested in learning more information about being able to come out and support the veterans along with us. But Cassons is sponsoring the station's participation in these events, and we're really grateful for it. If you are looking for a vehicle, make sure that you swing by CassonsCan.com, that website, CassonsCan.com, and see the inventory they have on their lot right now. A whole host of brand new vehicles for you to shop, as well as many pre-owned. And if you're looking for something specific and they don't have it, Cassons is going to work their tails off to make sure they can deliver you the vehicle that you've been searching for at a price that you're going to love. They care deeply about learning you and your budget and your expectations, because they want to earn your business for life. They want to make sure that you buy your next car and your next car and your next car from them. That's what the Fry family has done. And I encourage you to give them the opportunity to work hard for you to make that the case for your family. 618-800-2712. Call Cassons & Sons Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and Wagoneer at 618-800-2712. You can visit them online right now at CassonsCan.com.
Weather can be unpredictable nowadays, but your local news station on the free Odyssey app has got you covered. Whether you need an umbrella, windbreaker, or an extra layer, or two, we'll let you know. Download the free Odyssey app and search for your local news station to listen on your smartphone or ask your smart speaker to play it before you head out the door. Download the free Odyssey app and search for your local news station. That's AUDACY.
This is a story of the one. As a maintenance specialist for university housing, he knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Grainger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Grainger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Febreze. As a rideshare driver, I love keeping my car smelling fresh and clean. So when I'm driving, I only trust Febreze car vent clips, featuring 3 distinct intensity settings, because it's that little touch that sets me apart. I can turn the intensity down for subtle freshness, or I can turn it up for when I want lots of scent. So whether it's set to low, medium, or high, with Febreze car, I know my car's going to smell amazing. Which keeps my driver rating right where it belongs. Picking up! Oscar!
Here's another great reason to use the United States Postal Service this season. Your boxes are wrapped and the gifts are in. Our employees are ready. Let the holiday ride begin. Let's start with the price. It's easy to manage when you ship with the reliable USPS Ground Advantage. In just a few days, it's sure to arrive. We're working nonstop to keep the spirit alive. USPS Ground Advantage, the affordable and reliable shipping solution for the holidays. Visit USPS.com/advantage.
Gain peace of mind that your flooring and carpet installation will be done right the first time when you hire the experts at Michael's Flooring Outlet. They give all their clients attentive personal service, even bring toys for the kids of the household. It's a family-owned and operated business for 25 plus years. They make sure you make the right choice for your home. So if you have carpets or hard floors, you're going to be happy for years to come. 3 convenient locations in St. Charles County, 116 Main Street, in Old Town St. Peters at Mid-Rivers and Highway 70, in West County on Olive, and the store in Darden Prairie. Michael's Flooring Outlet, IGotFloor.com.
It's that time again, where we choose who we think is the best candidate for office. It's a difficult decision that requires the evaluation of contenders. Do they have the appropriate skills and experience for this office? Are they the right type of leader? Do they have a clear vision? Selecting the right candidate is no easy feat. That's why, for your office, there's ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes choosing the right candidate for any office easy because they only find and send you the most qualified people for your roles. Best of all, they do it fast. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So, while you're thinking about that really big decision, rest assured that any other hiring decision will be much easier when you use ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
You're listening to The Annie Fry Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Replace your old furnace or HVAC system and save up to $4,400 with double carrier cool cash rebates. For details and a free estimate, visit aircomfortservice.com.
You're mobile. We're with you on the radio or on the Odyssey app. Download it and take 97.1 with you, even outside the listening area.
Your home for conservative talk.
97.1 FM Talk. You're listening to The Annie Fry Show.
Hear me out, I know it's been a couple years.
Follow Annie on Instagram at The Annie Fry Show.
Out and said hello, I bet you're wondering why I keep obsessing on and stressing all the little things when I should be living life and soaking up the memories. I know I've been selfish, I have no excuse to give you, it's true. Hanging by a thread's how I live. I don't know why, but I feel more comfortable.
While I concede this election, I do not
concede the fight that fueled this campaign. The fight for freedom, for opportunity, for fairness, and the dignity of all people. A fight for the ideals at the heart of our nation, the ideals that reflect America at our best. That is a fight I will never give up.
Well, Kamala Harris isn't giving up the fight, and I'm pretty sure that Donald Trump didn't give up the fight after he lost in 2020. So I don't know that when you listen to what she's saying there, she's trying to motivate her people to continue on, and I get it. But we did hear from both Kamala Harris and Joe Biden. They're going to invest in a peaceful transition of power, the orderly transfer of power. That's what they said. Do you believe it? Annie Fry YouTube channel in the YouTube live chat poll today. You can tell us, will we see an orderly transfer of power, yes or no? Would love to know what you think on that. We'll get the results from Ethan here in about 25 minutes or so. We've been talking about a culture shift, and I'd actually be more excited for a culture shift for my children's sake and my grandchildren's sake eventually than I would a political shift. But we're talking about some evidence from Paul Antleitner's, it's at Paul Antleitner on X, if you want to go follow him and see this thread for yourself. The first piece of evidence, they said, was the success of Top Gun Maverick. And I completely agree with that. It seems kind of obscure, but I do believe that was an indication that America was getting kind of tired of what was being fed to us from an entertainment standpoint. And then the second point they made was anti-woke comedians who came out and started just saying what they wanted to say and actually being funny. The third one that they have here that we haven't touched on yet is very interesting. Going back to what Tyrus said on this show, he said that Kamala Harris ran the Bud Light of campaigns. Paul writes on X, he said, major corporations making cuts to DEI programs. After 2020, major corporations made concerted efforts to increase funding and attention to diversity, equity, and inclusion programs. By 2024, we began to see corporations making cuts to those same programs. Only one candidate and party was running on being the anti-DEI option. If people were beginning to reject these initiatives, it would make some sense that their views would also be expressed at the ballot box. Robbie Starbuck, who's been on this show before, is kind of had his a lot of time. He's a director. He's been with a lot of Hollywood-like folks, has been on a mission to get to the bottom of what various companies, American companies across the nation, what have they invested in and how do they prioritize DEI? And the second it seems like he is sniffing on their trail and they realize it, they start cutting things like crazy. We've seen this. I don't even know if it's been a full year that we've started to see the move away from this. It's probably Bud Light. Bud Light's probably the
yeah, right about then.
The rubric for what happens next. But when it used to be everybody was adding new DEI stuff, it is the trend to go, okay.
It's like people in corporate America just need a permission slip to say, yeah, we know that this isn't actually doing anything because statistically and I think most of them know this, although the true believers will never stop. But it doesn't actually accomplish.
Did you say believers?
I didn't mean to,
what
but I
did.
did.
What does Bieber have to do with this?
I didn't mean to bring him. I'm sorry, Justin. I know you're
He's
listening.
like, leave me out
Peace
of
be
it.
upon him.
Yeah, right. Peace be with you, Justin. You can go your way. You were not involved in this. But there are the corporate movement toward this has been just that. It's been corporate. They don't care. They're covering their butts legally. And everybody knows it. That's what's so funny, is that whenever you're going through these things,
you're like, okay.
You're just sort of like waiting for the video to end, and then you go, all right, what's the question? All right, I got to do that. Okay, whatever.
And from a corporate standpoint, too, and this is like, to me, the number one thing that Disney has done in the DEI sense that is so disingenuous to me is that they're selling it to you. They're doing it so they can sell it to you. They don't even necessarily believe what they're saying or doing, but they feel like if they front like they're the most DEI organization, that will make the dollars flow into the company, which is super capitalistic of them.
Yes.
And
Yes.
they should get back to the business of doing the Top Gun Maverick thing, going, what do the people want? Let's give it to them. And, as long as these companies don't do that, they suffer.
And this is where a culture shift matters, because if there's a culture shift, they're going to read that and go, oh, things are kind of moving this way. Okay. And they just paddle their boat in that direction.
The next one that he has on here, which I find very interesting and something I talk about a lot, it says enrollment surges at K through 12 Christian schools. If you talk if you talk to just about anyone who works in a private Christian school, the post-COVID spike in enrollment has been unprecedented. I can vouch for that. I've had a front row view for that. But it wasn't just that many Christian schools found ways to provide more in-person education during the COVID years. Also true. It was that many families who weren't even explicitly professing Christians were looking for educational environments that simply weren't teaching experimental progressive ideologies on gender and sexuality. That is like you have an understanding of what you're going to get in a Christian school, and you're going to get an education. There's going to be Christianity involved in that teaching, of course. So you go to a Catholic school, you're going to get a Catholic education. A Lutheran school, which I advocate wholeheartedly for, and I'm glad to partner with here on this show. Send my kids to a Lutheran school. Went to a Lutheran school myself. I know a lot of families who go to these Lutheran schools who are not Lutheran at all.
I was going to say the same thing. And they send, because my wife is a Christian school teacher.
And
now,
that's non-denominational, right?
Non-denominational.
Yeah.
I mean, it's at a Baptist church, but I don't think they say we're a Baptist school or anything. It's just a Christian school. And they do get kids. Now, most kids who go there are Christian, and the families are. But they do get quite a few kids who are just parents who just say, look, I don't really know what the public school is going to teach. It might be fine.
Yeah.
But I know that you're not going to teach those
Correct.
things. So I'm just going to send my kids there and be able to kind of throw my hands up and go, okay, you're fine.
There's enough to worry about as a parent while you've got a kid who's trying to learn, to get all the educational standards met, the social things that you have to go through, all of that you want to just be able to turn over some of that to the school and know and trust that they're going to handle that situation in a way that you know and respect, and that you shouldn't have to get lucky with the teachers your kids get in order to know that they're not going to be indoctrinated in things that have nothing to do with the curriculum at hand.
Exactly. By the way, I looked up the movies this year, since you were talking about Maverick, and that wasn't this year.
No.
But looking at the box office totals, we're in November, so a little time left here. But Reagan is one of the top 50 of the year.
Oh.
That one's made $30 million. And in the top 100, am I racist?
Top 100 movies?
That movie is not an expensive movie to make.
No.
That is a documentary.
I mean, not on the whole, but if you do watch the movie, they do tally how much they had to pay all these people to sit down.
Yes.
And these people are willingly sitting down with them to have a conversation with somebody who they've completely not vetted just for like a cool $50K.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Talk to me.
Yeah.
I got stuff to say. The next one, this is one of the reasons why I put this on here, because this is specifically for you, Brad. The Star Wars wars. Since Disney's release of its divisive Star Wars: The Last Jedi in 2017, Star Wars has been embroiled in an online culture war. Silly as it may sound to some, Star Wars has become an important myth in our culture, and challenges to mythos, meaning challenges to cultural power and influence. One faction of the Star Wars war wanted the storytelling to reflect more progressive, postmodern, and post-colonial values. The most quintessential iteration of this vision for Star Wars was the recent series The Acolyte. The divide between professional reviewers and average fans was emblematic of the cultural divide between intelligentsia and middle America. The Acolyte was canceled, and all of its merchandise was scrubbed from Disney's online store. It appeared that this particular faction had lost the Star Wars war.
That's crazy, because guess what they just announced today?
Make Star Wars great again?
No, they're going to do a new Star Wars trilogy. And they're going to start with episode 10, so it'll be 10, 11, and 12, the Star Wars saga.
Wow, that's big news.
That's in USA Today.
I had no idea.
Yeah, I saw a tweet from a guy that does
Who's directing it?
See, I haven't had a
Psycho
chance
lady?
to read this yet. I saw a tweet during the show about it, and then I'm like, well, I got to look this up. But yeah, what's her name? I can't think of her name.
Catherine something, isn't it?
Yeah. Put a chick in it and make her lame.
Darth Vader?
If they put her in there, the Force's female lady, if they put her in here, this thing is DOA. It's dead on arrival.
Do they hate money?
They're having to reboot the franchise because they've run it
You
so
said
hard.
starting with 9. You just said a whole bunch of Star
Starting
Wars
with
things.
10.
Okay, just stop. I don't know what that means.
Okay.
For the non-Star Wars people out there, what?
So the ones that came out in the 70s, that was episode 4, 5, and 6.
So that's
The
original. That's the one that made everybody
Right.
fall in love.
Right.
Then what?
Then episodes 1, 2, and 3 came out.
Those are terrible.
Not anymore, though.
Okay.
So 1, 2, and 3 came out, which were the prequels. They tell how we got to 4, 5, and 6.
Uh-huh.
And then after that, Disney bought Star Wars. That's when they released The Force Awakens, which is 7, 8, and 9. 8 is the Last Jedi, and then the 9 is the Rise of Skywalker. That's when Disney had it, and that's where it made the turn. The Last Jedi was terrible. The Force Awakens
I just did
was
this so I don't have to talk for the rest of the show.
was very milquetoast, very safe.
Yeah.
But then the last 2 episodes were just awful, and then
Was
Disney...
it force feeding a cultural view?
Yes.
Force feeding.
Yes, absolutely. And they gutted the whole series of what made Star Wars Star Wars.
I
They
wish I
took
did that on
they
purpose.
took the main male lead and they made him a wuss. Like Luke Skywalker.
Well, it's because he's a man.
Exactly. He wouldn't give up on his dad, who was the most evil person in the galaxy. If you haven't watched
Is
them,
that Kylo Ren?
no,
Darth Vader.
Darth Vader.
No, are you talking about
No,
Kylo
I'm talking
Ren.
about Luke.
Kylo Ren's dad is Hans
Han.
von Spakovsky. Han Solo. Hans.
So anyway,
Kylo Ren
But
of
they
the
took
Heritage
his-
Foundation.
It's with Project 2025. That's where it came from.
More.
I only know Star Wars and gifts.
I would pay to watch that episode.
It's funny
though.
to joke about Project 2025 now.
But the thing about it was they completely undermined Luke's character, who was a hopeful, happy, good guy who never gave up, and they turned him into this whiny, sobby little
No, I don't
wuss.
think that's how it
They
happened.
just turned him into Mark Hamill.
I think you yeah. Okay, you took my joke.
Sorry.
No, it's all right. I know that one too. Also from X. Yeah, I think that they just were like, just be you, man.
He's like,
Go be you. Okay, I got some ideas for this character then.
Yeah.
But
How about if I whine a
they
lot?
killed off all the characters, the main characters. What's in the past needs to die was a line in one of the movies, and it just made the movies stupid, and they just kept injecting the quote-unquote message into the movies, and then the
And
movies...
people are like, your message sucks.
Yeah. And
The
they stopped
next,
watching.
the next one from Paul Entleitner is, this is funny to me, the meta-modern resurgence of Creed.
This is so funny.
What?
I talked about this ad nauseum last year when I became the guy who predicted the resurgence of Creed before it happened, so I won't repeat all my talking points here, but you can't understand the meta-modern shift unless you get, quote, vibes, which is basically culture. Our cultural vibe shifted to Creed, so if you ask yourself which party seems to give the most pro-Creed vibes, it's a pretty easy answer.
I'm sorry. I am not on board with that one.
He's postmodern.
I have never been a fan of Creed, even when it was cool to like Creed.
Destructive cynicism.
What?
It says here, it gives the Creed timeline.
Yeah.
Modern is sincerity, and you say Creed is awesome, and then it moves to Creed is corporate butt rock, deconstructive cynicism. That's you.
Yeah, that's right.
And this is a postmodern.
I've never left that spot.
Which then goes to Creed is awesome, LOL, which is classified as ironic criticism, into Creed is awesome, post-ironic sincerity.
I'm still deconstructive cynicism. And I'm sticking to that.
That should have been your Halloween costume. Deconstructive cynicism. And you could have been Stapp. All right. I do agree. I mean, maybe you don't agree with the Creed thing, but I do agree. Like the fact that even Creed could be made popular again by way of its re-entry into culture.
Through irony?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
I get that.
Yes. But I mean, the rest of it, comedy, Maverick, schools, just all of these things have an undertone, not of what I would call Christian conservatism or whatever, but of freedom.
Mm-hmm.
Of don't come and tell me what to do, how to live my life. I want to be me. If I want to like Creed, deal with it. I like Creed. That's, I mean, kind of the way that we get to at the end of all of this. And the president that ran on making America great again, and if you understand the greatness of America, it rests with its people, not with its government. You couldn't have had a more stark comparison of two very, very different candidates. One who wants to give America back to you, and the other who promised that they would make government great again in the most massive possible way. I mean, I feel a cultural shift coming on, and I'm not sad about it. I have my arms wide open to it.
Few years ago, my good friend who's a Christian and who also doesn't use clean language all the time, so I'll clean up what he said. He goes,
you're talking about me.
"Why does it no?"
Okay.
Well, I could have been talking about you though. You're right. I'll just attribute this quote to you.
Sometime, never mind.
He goes, I want to raise my kids Christian. How come you got to come along and take a dump on my values all the time? And he didn't say dump.
Yeah. That is what it is. The YouTube live chat poll, Will we see an orderly transfer of power? Yes or no? Ethan will come in here and give us those results. And he also has a fun song we're going to play for you, too. So join us on the Andy Fry YouTube channel. Vote. You can watch. I think there's a video with it, too. So we'll be back in just a minute. Don't go away. We'll wrap up in one quick break.
Living in my agony, watching my self-esteem go up in flames, acting like I don't care what anyone else thinks when I know truthfully.
This is the Annie Fry Show. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
Happy.
Lutheran education, we were just talking about it. If you have ever considered an alternative to the public education system that you're trapped in, there are a lot of options out there for you, and I encourage you to check them all out. But let me speak personally from my experience of being involved in, educated in, sending my children into Lutheran schools. There are 37 Lutheran schools placed all over the Illinois and Missouri region. Lutheran schools give you a wonderful education, great attention to each student. The student-to-teacher ratio is fantastic. You get opportunities to do all sorts of things like athletics and music and STEM and robotics, along with a really, really great education as well. When you go to a Lutheran school, you will turn your children over to teachers, to educators, to a staff. You're going to understand how that school is going to operate. You don't have to have any guesses. Please consider a Lutheran education for your child or for your grandchild. As we're getting through the first semester, which is hard to believe, you may be thinking about making a switch at semester. Start the conversation now or just the research. When you go to LESA.STL.org/Annie, that's LisaSTL.org/Annie, a lot of your questions are going to be able to be answered right there. Like, where's a Lutheran school near me? Consider it. You will be so glad that you had the conversation, and I think you might be shocked at how affordable it is. For your child, for your grandchild, it's priceless. LisaSTL.org/Annie.
Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers, so don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-580-7766. 800-580-7766. That's 800-580-7766.
This is a story of the one. As a maintenance specialist for university housing, he knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Grainger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Grainger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Febreze. As a rideshare driver, I love keeping my car smelling fresh and clean. So when I'm driving, I only trust Febreze car vent clips, featuring 3 distinct intensity settings, because it's that little touch that sets me apart. I can turn the intensity down for subtle freshness, or I can turn it up for when I want lots of scent. So whether it's set to low, medium, or high, with Febreze car, I know my car's going to smell amazing. Which keeps my driver rating right where it belongs. Picking up! Oscar!
Who you choose to sell your St. Louis area home matters, especially in this changing market. We all know a few realtors, including me, but I only recommend one realtor. Mark Cox here. For the past several years, I've gotten to know Gloria Liu, owner of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Gloria's different, guaranteeing to sell your home at your agreed-to price, or Gloria will buy it. When selling your home, you want the most money and the least hassle. That's exactly what you get with Gloria Liu of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Check this out. out. After 6 months, 2 separate agents failed to sell the Wheeler family's home. With no more time to waste, they decided to give Gloria Lou a call. Within a few days, Gloria was able to get them multiple offers and sold their home at nearly 99% of listing price because Gloria already had the buyers. The agent you choose to sell your home really matters. Call Gloria Lou at 314-325-6888. That's 314-325-6888 or visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com.
Conditions apply. Gloria and seller must agree on price and possession date.
To have a roof over your head, a nice roof over your head, is very important.
That's Rick talking about his experience with Rhino Shield ceramic coating.
We got Rhino Shield 18 years ago, and they're very cooperative on getting us the right paint. They were in and out and done in no time. Once it was finished, looked great. We were very happy with it.
The main reason Rick called Rhino Shield is because it's backed by a 25-year transferable warranty.
We've watched a lot of people get their house painted 3 or 4 times, and we haven't had to do any of it. I don't know about you guys, but I don't want to have to paint it every 5-7 years.
Take a tip from Rick and put down the paintbrush and call Rhino Shield for your free evaluation. 877-25-RHINO. 877-25-RHINO. Or visit 877-25rhino.com.
We got Rhino Shield 18 years ago. Financially makes sense, especially if it's going to last like this did. Still looks great.
Call now. 877-25-RHINO or 877-25rhino.com.
Don't paint, don't Rhino, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Hey guys, Glover here with my friends at Triton Exteriors. If you're younger than me, you may not have ever really experienced truly great customer service. You will with Triton Exteriors. We're a James Hardy siding company. We have a huge color selection. We do fences. We do pretty much everything on the exteriors. We have a great reputation. We have tons, 800 positive online reviews with Angie's List. Great with the BBB. Call 314-717-1159 or book online at triton-stl.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
If you've been injured in a truck accident, you need the best. Onder Law. Let us make your case our cause. Truck accident? Call Onder Law for a free review at 314 or 618-9000000.
At Neovitin, we are all about supporting your nutrition, and that's why we are excited about our new Neovitin Omega-3 supplement. Neovitin Omega-3 is formulated with 1,200 milligrams of omega-3 fatty acids to help support healthy hearts. Our high-quality omega-3 fish oils are sourced from wild-caught fish and tested for heavy metals. With our convenient monthly subscription, you can get Neovitin Omega-3 delivered right to your door every month with no long-term obligations. Support your daily nutrition and sign up for a Neovitin Omega-3 subscription at neovitin.com today.
The YouTube live chat poll today, will we see an orderly transfer of power? I haven't peeked at the results of this, but my vote is yes. Let us know what you think about this poll. It is 2:53, and this time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon. We're getting set to go here after Fox News. I have more delusional response to the election to highlight this afternoon. Also, Jeff Murdoch, the White House correspondent for the Washington Times, will join us at 3:25. It's all coming up right after Fox News at 3.
This is the Annie Fry Show.
Well, Pam thinks Jesus is on his way. Doug thinks Jesus.
The Annie Fry Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
Coach thinks college athletes are making too much bank. Kim thinks COVID was a Chinese prank. But he thinks everything I sing sucks because it don't sound like Hank. Oh, baby, I think beer goes good with a lake and a lake goes good with a
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. We appreciate you being with us. Holy crap, it's 2:54. That went long.
Well, see ya.
I'm just looking right now as to what we need to do, and then I realized I have pudding on my headphones, so I don't even have my headphones on.
Do you have pudding in the studio?
I did. I ate it. Most of it. I didn't eat all of it.
Yeah, some of it got on your head.
Yeah, headphones. Some of it, I think it's in my hair. Oh, boy.
Oh, but what flavor?
Vanilla. You interested?
Kind of.
Here's some right here.
What brand?
E-Mart. From the thing out there.
Oh, I was hoping for Swiss Miss, which is the
really
number
good.
one brand.
Yeah, I know you're a pudding aficionado. Are we out here in 90 seconds?
Yeah.
All right, let's do the YouTube live chat poll. Will we see an orderly transfer of power? 363 votes so far. What do you think, Ryan? You just kind of said it.
I do think we'll see an orderly transfer of power. The powers that be will attempt to make it so. I don't know if there's going to be any rioting like there was in 2016 when Trump.
Did you see the videos of the Trump protests in Chicago out by his hotel?
Oh no, not in Chicago. I haven't.
It wasn't. I don't know. It didn't like cut through the noise too much. I'm like, just because you get 75 people together to like shout at a hotel building. I don't know that we need to stop the presses for that. What about you, Brad? You think we'll see an orderly transfer of power?
I voted no. I think it's going to be similar to 2016. I think there will be some hissy fits thrown in the streets of D.C., but I think that's going to be about it.
I guess it really depends on what you mean by orderly. A lot of people commented this, but they're like, we had an orderly transfer of power last time.
Actually, that is true.
It's true. It depends on how much you
everything still happened.
Well, you all voted, and then we have 367 votes, 368. They're coming in here hot. Yes, we will. 78% of you said we will. I think we will. I actually think that it's like the number one thing that the Biden folks need to do is make sure it goes smoothly, because that's all they've been running on to begin with. Mark Reardon, next.
To understand what makes Diamonds Direct different, you have to understand our history. It goes back 60 years to a renowned diamond cutter overseas. From there came years of diamond cutting, manufacturing, and wholesaling, supplying exquisite fine diamonds only to high-end jewelers. Then eventually the wholesalers started selling direct to the public, and that started a revolution. Today, we are a global diamond powerhouse with hundreds of thousands of customers and an impeccable reputation. But our core values are the same as always. Our diamonds are the highest quality cut by the best craftsmen. Our prices are the most compelling. Our selection is staggering. Our warranties and guarantees are rock solid. And our people are laser focused on helping you find the diamond of your dreams. So as the story unfolds, as the revolution continues, we invite you to experience a jewelry shopping experience unlike any other. Born in excellence, rooted in determination, and thriving in passion. Diamonds Direct. Showroom hours, directions, and more online at diamondsdirect.com. Proud to call the Lou home. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
Outdoor Living Redefined, brought to you by Lakeside Renovation and Design, your trusted partner in crafting stunning decks, inviting screened rooms, and elegant porch overhangs. Imagine enjoying a crisp morning coffee on your beautifully designed deck, or hosting gatherings in a spacious screened room. Lakeside turns your vision into reality. Our skilled craftsmen use top-notch materials to create spaces that stand up to the elements and stand out in style. Elevate your lifestyle with Lakeside's outdoor living expertise. Visit our showroom or call Lakeside Renovation and Design today.
Mark Cox here. If you're nearing retirement or already retired, call my friends Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw with the Retirement Advisory Group. They'll show you how to link to the market without the risk. They're the official financial advisors of my show. Go online to retirementkey.com.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon from my friends at ThrottleNet, and you've probably heard George Rosenthal from ThrottleNet on the show. He's a technology whiz, and George and his team can educate you and your business on the dangers lurking with technology. Here's a unique opportunity along those lines. Does your company have a lunch and learn or guest speakers? For a limited time, ThrottleNet is providing free lunch and learns to provide cybersecurity awareness training. One click can cause a ton of damage to your business. ThrottleNet is determined to make sure that doesn't happen. And if it does, they're the cybersecurity experts who can help. ThrottleNet is known for high